DWRB News FM 103.9. Ang himpilang magbibigay ng mga impormasyon sa larangan ng edukasyon, kalusugan, pangsakahan, kapaligiran, musika, natatanging kaalaman, at mga pinakahuli at sariwang balita sa loob at labas ng bansa. DWRB News FM. Ang himpilang ikaw ang una. Ikaw ang una.
Bahay OFW, ang programang magkakaloob sa inyo ng mga kaganapan sa kalagayan ng mga overseas Filipino workers sa buong daigdig. Bahay OFW, ang programang magbibigay daan sa mga panayam sa mga tao at ahensyang responsable, gagabay at aalalay sa mga OFW. Bahay OFW, ang programang mag-uugnay sa mga tao at ahensyang tutugon sa kanilang mga kahilingan at hinaingin para sa kanilang kabutihan at kapakanan. At ngayon, pakinggan at tunghayan natin ang inyong kasangga, si June De Vera, sa programang Bahay OFW.
May palakpakan pa tayo ngayon alam mo, solo flight ulit tayo ngayon eh. Anyway, isa lang namang maganda at napakainit na naman. Alam nyo pero nung Saturday, umulan. Maga tayo nag-umpisa ngayon Nagpaalam ako sa station manager natin at kasi medyo marami tayong konting guests ngayon. So, I wanted them na mag-start ng 2 o'clock. Kaya medyo inagahan ko itong public service portion natin. So, isa namang mainit, napakainit talaga. Ewan ko pa, ang init ng araw dito sa Pilipinas ngayon. Na Lunes ang hapon. Lalo sa hapon Ewan ko, baka magpapalit ako ng oras dahil talaga napakainit. At sa mga namamanata nating kababayan dyan sa iba't ibang parte ng mundo, bago ko kalimutan may utang ako sa isang kasama ko sa katrabaho ko nung araw na bukas pa yung dati kong kumpanya, yung Kiruban Power. Siya ay si Maria Rowena Liaguno Consuelo or si Weng kung tawagin namin, ng belated happy birthday. Hindi ko siya na bate last time So, pasensya ka na yun. Pasensya ka na, Weng.
Happy birthday!
Siguro naman di ka na magtatampo sa akin yung Weng, At binati na kita ng happy birthday, Anyway, cut the long story short, kasi siya yung nakaligtaan ko. Dahil solo flight tayo last week, mukhang nakaligtaan ko nga talaga siyang banggitin. Solo flight din ako ngayon. Kaya ewan ko kung medyo last week, sa totoo lang, first time kong ma-solo flight So I'm really controlling the entire program from my laptop right now. And medyo hindi ganun kadali. At hindi, masanay ako ng merong technician Anyway. Sana yan lang daw yan, sabi sa akin ng station manager ko. Pasalamatan muli natin ang bagong management ng ating radio station na pinangungunahan ng ating station manager na si Renity Chanko. Kaya nga pala, sabihin ko sa kanya na anyway, although umaanda na tayo sa tatlong social media network natin, ewan ko kung yung ating signal sa radio ay lumalabas na. Iba kasi ang control nun, wala sa control ko yun. Iba ang technician doon. iba yung technician sa media. Kung ano na may pumapasok dito. Kayo naman. Anyway, of course, sa panahon ngayon, mas totally dependent ang karamihan sa social media, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, at saka iba pa. Pero huwag kayong mag-alala kapag naitayo na yung panibagong tower natin diyan sa may NLEX daw ilalagay sa third floor daw ng isang building, mas lalong lalawak ang coverage. Bagay, sino naman ang nakikinig ng radyo these days, no, ha? Ako personally, hindi ako masyado nakikinig ng radyo eh. Puro telepono na lang eh. Dahil nga sa wifi, mas madali, no? Di ba? Kaya nga ang ating mga kapitbahay OFW sa apat na sulok ng mundo, dahil sa global time differences, magandang umaga, magandang hapon at gabi sa iba't ibang panig ng mundo. Okay? Pasensya na kayo, talagang medyo groggy ako, pagod ngayon dahil kagagali lang namin ng district conference. Ngayon nga, no, Sabado, nagkaroon ng thunderstorm. Can you imagine, summer may thunderstorm? Bagay sabi naman ng Pag-asa, yung ating weather station, magkakaroon din naman, kahit na El Nino, meaning hindi masyadong maulan, magkakaroon din naman ng bagyo one way or another. At baka nga mas malakas pa eh. Ayan. So, nandito naman po tayo sa pinakamahabang programa tuwing alas 2 hanggang alas 5 ng hapon, Manila, Philippine Standard Time, na nakatuon lamang sa issues ng OFW sa buong mundo. So, ito nga ang ating Bahay OFW. Dito lamang sa istasyon kayo ang lagi una at inuuna, ang DWRB 103.9 FM radio station. Oh, by the way, tayo lang ang OFW program na FM, ha. Yung karamihan diyan puro AM. Kaya medyo social tayo ng konti. Anyway, inuulit ko sa mga kaingat din tayo sa inyo diyan. Kaingat din ang iba sa inyo diyan sa ibang bansa dahil sa totoo lang, grabe na talaga ang epekto ng climate change. Alam nyo, parang umigsi yung lamig, no? Ewan ko kung nararamdaman ninyo. Ako hindi ko nararamdaman ko, pero hindi ganun kahaba yung lamig nung Pasko. Parang nung araw nga, talagang nagja-jacket pa kami. Ngayon, parang kinakailangan nasa loob ka ng hotel bago ka mag-jacket eh. Tsaka kung nakababad ka. By the way, kaya ako medyo pagod din dahil nung last district conference namin, yung first day, 12 hours ako nakaupo sa wheelchair ko. Kaya medyo hindi ako sanay na gano'ng katagal umupo eh. Kaya kinabukasan, sakit ng katawan ko, hindi na ako nakabalik. Dahil talaga ang sakit ng katawan ko. Pinahinga ko muna para makapag-broadcast ako ngayon. Otherwise, hindi ako nakakapag-broadcast. Ngayon, sa nalalapit itong tag-init, pollution naman at ang ating kalaban dahil sa dahil yung walang halo hangin na nagtataboy ng masamang toxins, no, ha? At ngayon naman pagkatapos ng pandemic ng COVID, nakakaranas naman ng global recession. Daming bansa ngayon talaga namang nagsitaasan ng bilihin. Kahit dito, ewan ko alam ko ramdam ninyo. Dahil sabi ko nga nung last week dati kong binibiling isda dating 300, ngayon 900 na. 3 beses. Paborito kong pampano. Dati 400 lang yun ganun Ngayon 900 na. Diyos ko mahabag yan. Anyway, tapos kaya kung po pwede, mga kapitbahay, tipid-tipid din tayo ha pag may time ha. At yun din ang sabihin niyo sa inyong mga pinadadalan at mga beneficiary at alatis nyo rito. Pagtipid din sila. Alam nyo, maganda na rin sa atin dahil sa totoo lang, bukod sa hindi natin masyadong inuubos ang ating kalikasan, no? Maganda rin sa katawan natin, parang gano'n. Kaya paminsan-minsan kaya lang naman ako malaking ganito dahil sa ano, sa tawagin 'to, sa steroids ko. Ba't maniwala kayo't hindi, isang beses lang ako kumain sa isang araw. Isang beses, dalawang beses. Kailan lumalawak ako, kinakailangan pala i-ano ko 'to, ikilos ko 'to. Paano ko naman ikikilos, yung aking hip joint wala na raw cartilage. Kaya 'pag pinalakad ako ang sakit. Kaya nga naka-wheelchair na ako, eh. Anyway, sana naman ay nagustuhan niyo yung 80 episode natin noong isang linggo, ha. Ika-17 ng Abril 2023. At bukod tanging bisita natin ay ang isa sa mga kinabibiliban ng mga direktor sa OWA. Siya ay si Jocelyn Ortega Hapal, Director 4 ng Policy and Program Development Office. Okay? Pakita ko sa inyo yung kanyang Pakita ko sa inyo yung kanyang what you call this? Yung kanyang yan si Director. Yan yung ating episode last week, eh. Okay? And teka, mali na pindot ko. Sabi sa inyo dito, pagka hindi ka sanay, nakakalito, eh. Okay? At ang ating napag-usapan ay sa history ng kung tawagin natin nung araw ay hatid saya. Sa halos taon-taong ginaganap mismo ng OWA at ng DOL, kasama ng ating mga local talents tulad nila Cabertawa Marcelo, Novabilia, Pilita Corrales, Suba Serrero, Noel Trinidad, Cherry Hill pala, Ricky Belmonte, si Dulce, tsaka iba pa, no? Mga artista na mga awit o mga singers at mananaya o iba-iba pa mga sa iba't ibang panig ng mundo, dinadala sila noon, no? Bilang alay sa mga noon, hanggang sa ngayon, kung tawagin yung mga bagong bayani ng ating ng ating pinakamamahal na OFWs. Kasabay ang palad naman, nung natigil ito nung dekadang 1990s. Actually, noong 1989 natigil ito. Dahil sa Gulf War. At ipiniliwanag din ng mabuti ni Director Joe na kung bakit at paano sa pamamagitan ng kanyang pagsusumikap at siyempre sa pagiging brainchild at suporta na rin ng kanyang bossing ng ating pinakamamahal na OWA Administrator at Arnel Ignacio, at siyempre pamumuno na rin sa Department of Migrant Workers na ating kalihim na Susan Toots Ople, ito ay naibalik muli ngayong taon lang, no? After so many years, can you imagine 1989? After so many years, inumpisa nila sa South Korea. Hindi na natin pa ipe-play yung yung kasi ang haba 17 minutes, eh. At wala na tayong masyadong oras pagka pinlay natin yun. Gusto nyo ba i-play natin? Pwede din naman. Kaya lang baka kayo. Tingnan natin mamaya. Tingnan natin kung may oras. Anyway, at hindi na natin yun nga, dahil nga sa kahabaan. Yan, nakikita nyo ngayon sa screen ang ating pinakamamahal na Director Jocelyn Ortega Hapal, no? Ngayon naman sa ika 80 yan. Yan, sa ika-81 na kuha natin na ano ba? Saan na? Ayun. Yan, sa ika-81 na kabanata natin, ito naman ang ating mga ano, no? Ika 81. Alam mo Tagalog ko, sumasabit na. Nakabanata natin araw na ito ay kauna-unahang pagkakataon, mag-uumpisa tayo ng format na ating programa na tuwing ikahuling Lunes ng bawat buwan ng ating programa ay tutuon natin sa mga Filipino domestic workers ng Hong Kong. At ang aking co-anchor, nakikita niyo yan sa bandang kanang ibaba, ay si Pieter Nootenboom. Isa sa mga namumuno ng Hong Kong OFW NGO Group, Filipino Community, tsaka at ang kanyang asawa na si Madam Merly. Ang title ng ating buwanang episode ay Hong Kong OFW-Connect. Kaya ang episode natin ngayon for this, a conversation with our Filipino domestic workers mistreated in Hong Kong. Yan. Nakikita niyo naman siguro ang ating background. Okay? So, para malaman niyo na yan ang ating yan ang ating alam mo, dami. Pagka marami kang pinipindot, kung ano na lumalabas nakakatawa Anyway, of course, hindi lang sa Hong Kong, no? Sana ay may mapulot kayo doon sa ating mga inimbitahang mga Filipino domestic workers na magsasalita na medyo pinagmalupitan ng konti ng kanilang mga amo sa Hong Kong. Okay? Of course, iniimbita ko rin yung ibang mga Filipino communities dyan. Mag-message lang po kayo sa akin at bibisitahin natin at ilalagay natin sa programa natin ito. Pagsasalitain din natin ng kung sino-sino mga kapwa OFWs natin dyan. Of course, kinakailangan may co-anchor tayo dahil siya yung makikilala doon sa mga iniimbita natin, na may pamahagi ng ating mga kababayan. At of course, hindi lang naman sa Hong Kong, kundi pati na rin sa iba't ibang bansa na kung saan ang ating mga OFWs ay nagtatrabaho sa abroad bilang kasambahay. Sana naman ay yun nga, makapulot kayo ng aral sa kanilang isi-share today, 5 sila. At of course, sana'y manood at makinig kayo. Now, other than that, doon naman tayo sa dito naman tayo sa birthday greetings. Yan. Birthday greetings. Ano ba to? Ang daming. Kung kailangan nagpo-programa, ang daming nag-message. Sa totoo lang. Itong mga ito, hindi ko masama kung may puso o ano Anyway, birthday greetings, belated happy birthdays, April 17, Mary Grace Plagere and Belay Mahmoud, April 17. April 18, belated happy birthday, Arvin Peralta and ng ITF. Arvin, kailan ka ba mag-guest sa atin? Gusto kong pag-usapan natin yung ng development sa mga seaman natin. No? Lagi kita mini-message, sinisino mo lang nagme-message din ako sa hindi ka naman sumasagot. Ano ba? Tawagan na lang siguro kita sa telepono. Anyway, si Mo Ramos, owner ng Yuri Japanese Restaurant, iniimbita niya ako minsan na kumain dyan. Sana libre. Kung hindi naman, sana may discount. Joke lang. Anyway, of course, ang aking schoolmate from elementary to high school, si Cesar Antonio. Schoolmate and classmate ko sa Notre Dame of Manila. April 20, Attorney Virginia Orgaini Menes. Director siya ng AIRB ng Department of Migrant Workers. No, ha? Belated happy birthday po, Attorney Gaini. Yan ang aking nilalapitan pag kami mga illegal recruitment activities na nangyayari sa sa POEA. Yan ang aking nilalapitan. Dahil siyempre what you call this? Yan ang ating yan ang ating nag-aayos at nag-a-assign ng para mag-hearing, no? So belated happy birthday po.
Happy birthday!
Kaya ko in-special ang happy birthday kasi marami na akong nilapit dyan. Pati yung mga human trafficking, siya rin ang nag-aayos, no? Father Joseph or Jose Vicente Ibanez Tinga. Father Joseph, yan yung pare doon dito sa may Rodriguez. Siya yung nag-aalaga ng mga yung lugar niya, tambakan ng basurahan yun. Diyos ko, kung maalam nyo lang, minsan pinuntahan ko yan, talagang wow. If you want to know poverty, go to that place. Yan lang sa may Payatas yan sa likod lang ng Payatas. Anyway, of course, again, yun nga, nakalimutan kong bagutin, Maria Rowena Diaguno Consuelo Osiwing. Yan binati uli kita Si Isabelito Dodong de la Serna, Dong, happy birthday Dong, April 20, belated. April 21 naman, Rotarian Liz Can, Junior Jones Kuaila, ka-Rotarian namin, ka-district namin. Pero wala ka nung district conference, di kita nakita. Of course, April 22, belated, si CP, Rotarian, and classmate ko rin during my term, CP Ruben Xiao. Nakita kami niyan nung district conference no Sabado. Of course, mga schoolmates ko, April 23, si Ed Dairit, batch 78, Jerry Ilagan, ito kaibigan ko to sa taga-Tanawang, Batangas. Happy birthday, paring Jerry. Alam ko ito, athlete ito si paring Jerry. Tumatakbo ito kung di ako nagkakamali. And of course, Barney Ronas. Anong batch ka ba, brother Barney? Batch 80 ka yata, di ba? Alam ko, mas matanda ako sa iyo pero 80 or 81 ka ba? Ito si paring Barney. Kuha dito kasamahan ito ng kung alam niyo yung grupong hotdog, kasama siya doon and yun nga, nung namatay yung founder nila, I forgot his name. He was so sad, no? Kasi isa siya sa mga founding members ng grupo ng hotdog. Yan. Today, ang ating mga birthday celebrants ay dadalawa. Si Maciek Śmigielski, my good friend from Poland. I do not know how to say happy birthday in Polish, and I do not want to know because it's very difficult, I know, and my tongue will be twisted, so I will just greet you in English, happy birthday. And si Hani Mutia Cervantes, itong si Hani, ang mother nito, best friend ko. Sa kasawayang palad naman, maaga namang tayong iniwan at yun nga na maaga na ulila itong si Hani, no, sa kanyang ina. She's a very, very good woman, very supportive during my term as president of our association. Sinasabi sa akin ng aking iwas sa time to stand, mamaya na. Anyway, and of course, advance happy birthday sa aking half-brother, Benjamin Tan, who is in Austria. He doesn't speak so much English, but he speaks very good German dahil doon siya lumakas sa Austria, no? But marunong mag-Ilonggo to eh. So happy birthday lagi, ha? Sa imuha dong. Of course, kay Mark Anthony Batak, happy birthday din. Magaling magluto to. Masarap magluto ng kambing ito. Sayang, hindi nila pinagpatuloy kanilang restaurant dyan sa may Malate eh. Gusto ko pa naman yung luto niyong kambing eh. Tsaka yung crispy belly ng bangus. Napakasarap. Kala mo chicharon. Gusto ko yun. My schoolmate from elementary, nagkikaklase ko rin for I think 1 year. 1 year or 1 or 2 years. Eric Igualada, who used to work for Meralco pero ngayon consultant na lang siya ng NGCP, no? My schoolmate and classmate as well, elementary and I think even high school yata. Manny Sese, who is now in Florida. Manny Sese, happy birthday. Bernard Mailig, happy birthday din. Advance happy birthday. Sa April 25 pa naman ang birthday nila. April 26, si aking paring Marlibaw. Ito lagi kong kasama sa Gorto nung araw way back. Ano ba to? Way back 1990s. Tama ba ako noon? Panahon ni POE Administrator hirap talaga kaya di ako pwedeng kun eh. After Sarmiento, Felicissimo Hoson, yun, during his time. Yan, madalas kami mag-golf niyan. Meron kaming grupo nung kutawagan na G2G, Golf and Guns. Kasi after mag-golf kami, magpa-firing naman kami. Kaya namimiss ko yung aking mga, of course, binenta ko na, no? Yung aking mga baril, no? 45, yung aking Super 38, dalawang ako na. Meron din ako ng, pero wala akong 22 caliber. Yung 38 tsaka 45. Yan. April 28, advance happy birthday. Yung dalawa kong inaasar lagi sa Rotary. Si Rotarian past President Chris Kerubin. I think he's with the RC101 ngayon. And past President PP Lito Puwa. Ano bang club ni PP Lito? Manila, ano ba? Hindi Manila Midtown eh. Basta't Manila East ba? Ewan ko, basta't kapitbahay ko lang dito, pareho yan sa Makati, sa may taga-Palm Towers, no? And of course, my schoolmate Alan Trinidad sa Notre Dame of Manila. And my old friend who lives in Dubai, si Sir si Manong Muhammad Taha. He's a Muslim but he speaks very good Ilocano daw. Anyway, advance happy birthday naman sa next day, April 29, kay Lito Santos. Itong si Lito Santos, kung di ako nakakamali, dating taga-country bankers to, kasamahan ni Jimmy Lacaba. No? Anyway, ito, of course, last but not the least, April 30 celebrants. 4 lang naman sila. Ang aking, yung aking schoolmate from elementary to high school, si Reynaldo Ditus de Guzman. Nasa UN ka pa ba, Ditus? No? Hindi ko nakikita sa mga post mo eh. My friend from the Middle East, Mr. Fadi Sarkis, friend and client. Naging client ko rin to at one given time if I'm not mistaken. Si Lester Mandapat, nakilala ko to through Mr. Chugawa, yung kaibigan kong Hapon. And of course, last but not the least, yung aking super alalay at official photographer, si Albert Berto Olitin. Okay, Bert. At 42 years old ka na pala. Hindi ko alam. Akala ko 38 ka lang. Happy birthday, Bert. Bert, nadidilig mo ako, Bert. Andiyan ka na sa kabilang kwarto. Advance happy birthday. Sa katapusan pa pala yung birthday mo, ha? Okay. So, patiin po natin sila ng happy birthday. Nasaan yun? Now, update tayo sa sitwasyon ng ating kapaligiran sa overseas employment. At kasalukuyang inanunsyo ng ating kalihim ng Department of Migrant Workers Secretary Susan Tosople na ipapadala niya sa Middle East si OWA Administrator at ang DMW Undersecretary Hans Leo Kaktak. OWA Administrator Arnel Ignacio, para iuwi or i-evacuate yung mga OFWs na natin mula sa nagkakagulo ngayong Sudan, na of course na gusto na umuwi dito sa Pilipinas, pero dadaan muna sila sa Egypt. Wala kasing flight from Sudan to anywhere. Hindi pwedeng pumasok, walang eroplano pwedeng pumasok, walang eroplano pwedeng lumabas. And balita ko ay mukhang magkakaroon na naman ng panibagong hostilities kasi yung ceasefire mukhang mag-ending na. So, medyo natatarante ang ating gobyerno kung paano sila pauwiin. At syempre, yung ating mga kababayan doon na gusto na rin umuwi, medyo nababahala na rin dahil yung mga dumadagundong na pagsabog ng kanyon at kung anumang granada doon o grenade launcher doon, medyo kahit naman sino kakabahan. Dito man mangyari yun, kakabahan ka, no? Anyway, gusto kong pasalamatan, by the way, si Labat Heki Cruz. Anyway, gusto kong ipakita yung kanyang picture. Sadali lang, gusto kong ipakita ang kanyang picture. Yan. Naku, hindi maipakita yung picture ni Labat Cruz. Hindi masyado maipakita. Bakit hindi maipakita? Anyway, Labat Heki Cruz, pasensya ka na, hindi masyado maipakita yung picture na pinadala mo kasi napakalaki. Anyway, salamat po Labat Heki Cruz, no? Siya po ang polo or MWO Migrant Workers Office sa Eastern Region Office sa Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Sa pag-aayos niya ng problemang inilapit ko sa kanya, sa kaganda ang palad naman ay na-rescue niya at nabigyan ng bagong employer. Yan nga yung nasa picture. I'm sure masayang-masaya si Eileen Samson ngayon at yung uncle niya si Doc Roland Texon, ang medical director ng Valenzuela Emergency Hospital. Para sa iyo, Labat Heki, you're still one of the best labats na as usual. Mabilis kung umakto or kumilos. Wala pang isang buwan tapos na ang kaso. May kalapkip pang solusyon. Yan. Kaya lang hindi ko maipakita yung yan si yung nakasalamin sa gitna. Yun yung bagong amo niya. Sorry, hindi ko mapaliit Hindi ko masyado palang malaki yung file, no? So sorry Labat Heki, ewan ko kung paano how I will do it, but yun na nga, ganun talaga wala, talagang di kaya. Sorry talaga. Anyway, balik tayo sa programa natin. Ipinatutupad na po ng Bureau of Immigration since April 15 yung full-scale implementation ng e-travel system. Yun yung tinatawag na programa nila. may memo na akong binabanggit halos linggo-linggo rito. Hindi ko na ipalalabas ngayon dahil in effect na. So ito naman ay lahat ng mga pasahero, maging Pilipino man o foreigner, na darating o aalis muna ng bansa, no? Wala nang papel-papel. Ano na lang, paperless e-travel system. Okay? So, may balitang may delegasyon daw mula sa Ministry of Labor at ng Foreign Affairs ng Kuwait na darating sa Pilipinas upang makipag-usap at makipag-ayos o ugnayan sa ating kalihim ng OFW, ng DMW, upang pag-aralan ang mga dapat gawin upang maiwasan ang nakaraang hindi kanais-nais na pangyayari sa isa sa mga ating mga sa isa sa mga kawawang OFW natin. Isang Filipino domestic worker na binugbog, ginahasa at sinunog at inilibing na lang, no, sa disyerto. Siyempre para buksan muli ang newly hired workers na mga foreign domestic workers patungong Kuwait. Okay? So, yan actually, minarites lang sa akin ng aking kaibigan kong Arabo. Ewan kung official yan. Hindi ko pa na-check sa DMW dahil naging busy nga ako sa Rotary. Check ko later, hopefully next week meron tayong official dyan. At which by the way, magtutungo rin ang ating kalihim ng DMW sa Saudi Arabia sa May para makipagsarahan na ng usapan tungkol sa 10,000 workers na hindi nakatanggap ng kani-kanilang sahod. Matagal na ito. Kung iniligay mo sa bangko to, laki na ng interest ito. Kaso, ang kasawiang palad, ang magbabayad pa, kung saan ka naman nakakita, ang gobyerno pa ng Saudi Arabia, buti na lang mayaman sila. Dito mangyari yan. Sabi ng gobyerno natin, pakailan po dyan. Ako ba nag-hire niya sa mga yan? Anyway, yun na nga. Salamat naman at napakabait ng kaharian ng Saudi Arabia at kinonsider nila, according sa mga nabalitaan ko, kinonsider nila na bayaran yung 10,000. Kaya humihingi na ng listahan si Kalihim or Secretary Toots Ople. Nagbigay na siya ng email. Check niyo na lang sa website ng dmw.gov.ph yung email kung kayo ay isa sa mga empleyado nitong 3 kumpanya na nagsara at hindi kayo nasweldohan. Okay? Para ma-i-register yung pangalan ninyo. At sa mga agencies naman, sinimplihan na yung accreditation process ng based on Governing Board Resolution number 5 series of 2022. Okay, yung verification and accreditation ng mga principals and employers ay dinelegate na sa mga migrant workers offices ng countries or territories of their respective or primary or concurrent jurisdictions. Okay? Ngayon, sinimplify na lang nila yung requirements. Number 1 is recruitment agreement, special power of attorney, okay? Job order or manpower request, master of employment contract, of course, additional documents pagka kayo ay foreign placement agencies, foreign recruitment agencies. Ano yan? Yan yung mga nag-hire ng mga domestic workers. Okay? So, bibilisan ko dahil 2:00 na at papasok na yung iba nating mga bisita. Di ko na Nagbabala nga pala ang ating kalihim ng Department of yung mga nagpapanggap ng mga ahente diyan ha, yung mga nag-a-advertise diyan sa Facebook na job openings o kaya ang iba diyan kamag-anak mismo nila ang niloloko nila. Mahiya naman kayo. I-criminalize niya na ito. Ha? Yung mga nag-ahentihan diyan. Kaya kapag hindi kayo register sa PUA, humanda na kayo. Okay? Another good news, may panibagong employment hiring policy na po ang gobyerno ng South Korea na gumagamit ng ibang klaseng visa. Hindi kamukha nung ginagamit nila para sa manufacturing workers ng papuntang Korea na kung tawagin yung EPS system, no? Yun ang ginagamit ng E9. Ngayon, meron silang bago kung tawagin E7. Pero sa mga skilled workers naman. Of course, ano ibig sabihin ng skilled workers? Yan, may construction. Basta skilled. Pwedeng sa hotel, pwede sa iba't iba, basta non-manufacturing. Okay? In fact, yung kausap ko na Koreano, biglang sinabi sa akin, ura-urada, kailangan daw nila around 10,000 6G TIG-MIG welders. Sabi ko, Diyos ko, ang dami yan. Baka naman maubusan kami yan. Buti lang hindi nurses sa kailangan ninyo, no? At talagang sa totoo lang medyo wow, as in wow. Nauubos ba? Alam ko meron tayong 400,000 surplus ng mga nurses eh. Kaya lang ito kasi mga mga private hospitals natin, ang kukuripot, ang mamahal maningil, pero ang kukuripot magbayad ng sweldo. Yung iba naman sa kanila, ewan ko tuloy pa rin yun. Pero nung araw, ewan ko ngayon kung tuloy pa rin. Nung araw, yung iba sa kanila ang nurse pa ang nagbabayad doon sa ospital para lang makapagtrabaho ng 2 years. Tapos, after 2 years, i-issuean silang certificate of employment na sila merong experience ng 2 years, taka sila mag-abroad. Yan, ganun. Alam ko, tinigil na yon pero ewan ko kung tuloy pa rin. May nababaltaan akong tuloy yung iba, may nababaltaan pa akong hindi. Siguro yung mga maliliit tuloy, pero yung mga lalaki, I'm sure hindi na, no? Dahil siyempre, ayaw nilang masira. Tsaka pakiusap lang po, wag po kayong diretsong mag-PPM sa akin or yung private message sa Facebook Messenger, ha? Bihira akong buksan yan. Pero siguro isang araw magde-devote ako ng oras para buksan yan. Para kahit paano makatulong din ako sa mga problema ninyo. Pero may format tayong sinusunod eh. Sana sundin nyo yun. At saka wag yung pagka inumpisahan na natin yung ayusin yung kaso nyo, kalagitnaan mangiiwan kayo. Yan ang medyo nakakapagod sa inyong ibang OFWs eh. Pag nakuha nyo na yung gusto ninyo, iniiwanan nyo na sa area yung tumutulong sa inyo, hindi nyo naman kami binabayaran. Hindi nyo na nga kami binabayaran, iniiwan nyo pa kami sa area. Ha? Isa pang pakiusap ha, na sa mga lumalapit ang tulong sa inyo dyan, radio station lang po kami, hindi po kami DSWD. Kaya kung lalapit po kayo sa inyong mga suliranin at hihingi ng tulong upang ayusin ito, wag naman nyo kami parang kung utusan, para namang kayo nagbabayad ng aming kinakain. Yung iba kasi kung makapag-utos o makapag-follow up, as in grabe, no? Hindi lang naman po sa inyo lang nakatutok ang aming mga tinutulungan. Marami po sa inyo lumalapit ang tulong. At natutulungan naman, kaya lang, wag naman po, ilagay naman po naman sana natin sa ayos. Wag naman po masyadong magaspang. Ha? Okay. So, bago ang lahat, ha? Bago tayo what you call this? Bago tayo Dapat pala ganun, ito yung lumalabas kanina eh. Anyway, nako, hindi ko na ipakita yung kay Lapateke, nakakahiya. Anyway. Uy, nasaan yung Sabon Dipo? Okay. So, dito na tayo kay Sabon Dipo, ha? Bago natin ipakilala yung bago natin ipakilala yung ating mga bisita. Okay, dito mo tayo kay Sabon Dipo. Okay? Ang Sabon Dipo po, uy, nasa kamis na Sabon Dipo. Alam mo mahirap talaga ito nag-iisa eh. Ang Sabon Dipo Philippines ay mahigit ng 10 taon sa merkado ng franchising business at merong mahigit na 500 franchises or outlets sa buong bansa. Wow, 500. Mayroon silang 11 manufacturing sites sa buong Pilipinas. At sa mga kasunod na buwan, sa mga susunod na buwan, ay magbubukas sila internationally sa Malaysia, Indonesia, Spain at saka sa Italy. May mga kausap na siya. In fact, a few weeks ago, kausap niya yung mga taga Malaysia, yung taga CS Laundry, no? And meron silang mga in-house chemists na gumagamit ng panibagong innovative ingredients na kung tawagin ay green or plant-based formulas bilang active na sangkap or ginagamit sa kanilang mga produkto. Kauna-unahan sa merkado na mag-introduce ng paggamit ng refill system or refilling program. Okay? Na tinaguri ang environmentally friendly dahil pinabababa o iniiwasan ang paggamit ng one-time or single-use plastics. Yan yung mga nakakasira ng ating kalikasan. Pag napunta ng dagat yan, kinakain ng mga isda yan. Nagiging microplastic. Hindi nyo alam yung isda kinakain nyo. May microplastic po pupunta sa katawan ninyo. Doon medyo nagkakaroon tayo ng sakit ng konti. No, ha? Masama raw sa katawan daw yung microplastic. Dalhin nyo lang inyong basyong container at doon nyo lang i-refill at ang inyong babayaran ay ang kwan lamang, ang ang inyong refill. So, yun po ang ating Sabon Dipo. Maraming salamat po Ka Joey at Ka Jovian Hope Gumpal sa inyong suporta. Ito ang ating kwan. Sana madagdagan pa kayo ng mga taga-suporta natin. But for now, ito ang ating pinakamatagal na supporter at ang ating pinopromote. Which by the way, meron din silang kwan. Punta lang kayo sa website nila or sa FB page nila. Kasama rin ito sa OWA Reintegration Program. Yan. Meron silang ganon. In-endorse din sila ng ating nung siya ay Deputy Administrator pa ni OWA Administrator Arnel Ignacio. Okay? So, balik ulit tayo sa ating guest. Bago ang lahat, magkuhan muna tayo. Bago natin introduce ang ating co-anchor, mag-station break muna tayo. Okay?
Bahay OFW, ang programang magkakaloob sa inyo ng mga kaganapan sa kalagayan ng mga overseas Filipino workers sa buong daigdig. Bahay OFW, ang programang magbibigay daan sa mga panayam sa mga tao at ahensyang responsable, gagabay at aalalay sa mga OFW. Bahay OFW, ang programang mag-uugnay sa mga tao at ahensyang tutugon sa kanilang mga kahilingan at hinaingin para sa kanilang kabutihan at kapakanan. At ngayon, pakinggan at tunghayan natin ang inyong kasangga, si June De Vera, sa programang Bahay OFW.
Mga pili at natatanging impormasyon mula sa himpilang DWRB News FM. Ikaw ang una. Ikaw ang una.
Okay. Sa totoo lang, hinahanap ko yung ating mga kasamahan. Dapat kanina pa sila nandito. Pero mukhang wala pa sila. Bakit kaya? Ha? Ano na nangyari? Peter, where are you, my friend? What's going on? Dapat andito na sila eh. It's already 2 p.m. as I told them. Kaya ako nga inagahan pumasok eh. Dahil ang dami nila eh. No? Marami sila. So, tinan nyo kung ilan yan, no? 5 yan eh. Andiyan dyan si Mary Ann, hindi ko babasa masyado eh. Masyado balita pagkakasulat eh. Si Maria Eli ba yan? Itong nasa kita, may kagandahan. Ito yung nabanlian eh. Si Anna May. Ito, si MM, kung tawagin namin. At saka si Clarence. Pasqua. Nasaan na kayo? Ba't dapat nakapasok kayo Bakit hindi kayo makapasok? Okay, ano nakalagay dito? Jade F. Tan. Hello, Bibi June. Hello, at Tita Jade. How are you? Ni hao. Pa-shout out po, Bibi June, watching from Bacoor, Cavite. Taga Bacoor ka ba? Saan ka sa Bacoor? May bahay ako dyan. Pinaupahan ko nga lang dyan sa may Irene Village. Sa harap ng Ireneville 2. Sa harap ng SM Bacoor. No? Diyan ka pala sa Bacoor? Traffic dyan, Grabe ang traffic. At saka, alam mo dyan, nung araw, hindi naman bumabaha. Ngayon daw, bumabaha hanggang leeg. Anyway, ano naman tong message ng aking isang kwan? I wish I could send more stars as token of my appreciation to all your assistance and to all OFWs in need of attention and help through BAHAY OFW. Maraming salamat naman, anak. Wala sa totoo lang walang tayo tumutulong lang naman tayo, no? Bakit wala pa yung ating mga guests? Dapat andito na. Ano nangyari? Awampay. Ako na lang ba muna magsasalita? Anyway, just to give you an idea, meron tayong itong iba-ibang kwarto, iba-ibang mga ito yung mga for Filipino domestic workers working in Hong Kong. At sila ay inaalalayan at tinutulungan. Ito nga nung aking co-anchor na si Pieter Nootenboom, no? Peter is a Freemason, pero other than that, he is also he has by heart an NGO. Tumutulong siya sa mga at siya at ang kanyang asawa, tumutulong sa ating mga OFWs. Nasaan na sila? Yeah. Tinatawagan ko na eh. Where are you guys? Okay. All right. Waiting for you. Wait. No problem, no problem. Yeah. Okay, setting up lang daw siya. Okay, yun ang ating kwan, yun ang ating si Peter. Etong si kwan, si CJ. Minsan kinakailangan tawagan mo, ano? Wala eh. Talagang ganyan ang buhay. Okay. Anyway, wala pa nakakapasok sa kanila. Ay, sorry. So, habang wala pa sila, ako muna pagtsagaan ninyo yung mukha kong akala mo punching bag ng boksingero. Okay? Na kasusuntok namutla. Anyway, habang nagsiset up pa sila. Maganda ang ating pag-uusapan ngayon kasi ito ang mga, alam nyo, marami kayong matututunan sa mga iba ang trabaho, of course, sa construction, iba ang trabaho sa bahay. In fact, hindi nyo na itatanong, nung tinake over ko yung kumpanya ng mother ko from way back in 1990s, nung una inalalayan ko muna siya nung binuksan namin yung Taiwan. Tapos, nung unti-unti niya sinabi na ako na raw ang magpatakbo, medyo lumayo ko ng konti sa domestic workers kasi talagang ang hirap. Bawat isang employer, isang tao, pag marami yan, masakit sa ulo. At saka ako kasi I'm an engineer by profession. Hindi rin ako sanay hindi ko naman sinabi hindi ako sanay humawak ng babae, no ha. Ibig ko lang sabihin, yung mahirap din kasi mag-maintain ng domestic workers, no. Kasi iintindihin mo pa yung panpaligo nila, pambihis nila, shampoo, ganun. Although nagpapadala ako sa Japan, mga entertainers, yun natutulog. Meron din akong housing sa kanila. Pero yun naman, 6 months, 3 months to 6 months lang kasi ang kontrata noon. Hindi katulad ng domestic helpers. Minsan, ang first 2 years, minsan almost forever. Siyempre mo, kakabaka-baka, di mo alam kung anong gagawin ng employer. So, unti-unti ako lumayo ng konti sa area yun. Although, ang maintain ko lang, yung mga markets na hindi ko talaga maialis. Like, for example, nung bukas pa yung Lebanon, dahil nung binuksan yung agency namin, kapartner na namin yung doon. Parang nanay ko na yung kapartner na nanay ko namin doon. Si Tita Maha Asad. At yung anak niya ngayon ay honorary consul ng Lebanon dito sa Pilipinas. Pero yung asawa niya, yung tatay noon, yung si Tito Felix, yun yung talagang unang-unang nakilala kong honorary consul. Tapos, yung Cyprus naman, dahil sarado ang Cyprus noon, ni-reopen namin. Pero mostly, ganun din, household din. No? But other than that, yung sa Hong Kong ko, sa Brunei, sa Malaysia, even kung magpapadala man ako sa Middle East, Ah, ah, nasa agency raw si ano. Nasa agency pa po ako. Akala ko po kasi alas 4. Hindi. Ah, okay. Akala daw niya kasi alas 4 pa siya papasok. Medyo nagkamali ng konti nung ang ano, ito aking co-anchor. Hindi ko naman sinisisi dahil first time din niya mag-co-anchor. Ginawa niya, in-schedule niya isa-isa. Sabi ko, hindi, pwede yan sabay-sabay pumasok. Pag kukontrolin na lang natin kung sino yung magsasalita. O kaya ko naman kontrolin yung microphone dito eh. Parang ganon. Ewan ko, hanggang ngayon wala pa siya. At saka, alam mo, na, ang internet, hindi ba napapansin ang internet connection niya parang nagluloko. Kung kailan nagkaroon ng SIM card registration parang nagluloko ang internet connection. Ako nga, mayan, hine-check ko yung aking internet connection eh. Kung maayos eh. Kanina 141. Ngayon naman kahit papaano nasa 120, no? 127 gano'n. Hindi rin stable. O yan, 123. Kaya minsan di ko rin alam kung anong kung ano yung bakit kung imbis na mag-progress tayo, lahat tayo nagre-regress eh. By the way, nakita niyo ba yung ano? By the way, congratulations nga pala sa bagong PNP chief yung pumalit kay General Azorin. I forgot his name. Pero taga Ilocos daw ito eh. Sabi sa akin, yung inappoint ng ating presidente. Congratulations po. At ang tagal naman, Mr. Peter, where are you? My friend, I cannot show the things that I have here because you are not around, no? Anyway, like I said, ito yung 5 babae na magsasalita ngayon. Ito yung nag-message sa akin kanina, sabi niya alas 4 raw. Akala daw niya alas 4 pa raw. Sabi ko, hindi Dapat sabay-sabay kayo pumasok na. Oh, Peter. Yun. Naka-active naman siya, naka-online na siya. Although, parang nagkakaroon ng problema ng internet ko. Kasi kanina nag-uusap kami, meron siyang inaayos na cancer case. Ang mahirap kasi sa Hong Kong, pag nagkasakit ka, may mga employer na mabilis, ang tawag nito, mabilis unable to get in. Why so? Hindi raw sila makapasok? Ano nakalagay? Your Really? Paano nangyari yun? Teka, paano nga ba? Sandali, invite. Sandali, ha? Ito lang naman ang kwan eh. Ito lang naman ang... Bela, ha? Invite instructions for the guest. Yan. I already gave you instructions how to kwan. Ay, naku naman, oo. Ngayon naman, di sila makapasok daw. Nahihirapan daw. Ewan ko kung bakit. Ewan ko. Basta't ako ito naman ang... Ayan. Ba't di sila makapasok? Di raw, dapat pala muna kami, nag-testing muna eh. But am not in as co-host. Cannot enter? Why? Why can't you enter? Subukan mo nga ito. Why can't they enter? Ganun man ang ginagawa ko, invite. Hindi raw sila makapasok. Ewan ko kung bakit. Nakapasok naman sila dati bakit ngayon? Sabi ko, i-open on nila yung yung mobile nila tapos mag-login. Oh, mangyayari yata rito. Ako lang na mag-isa magsasalita. Aba, ano na nangyari? Anyway, habang hinihintay natin pumasok si Peter, ito pakikita ko sa inyo. Ito yung paso ng isa sa mga worker. No? Makikita nyo, nabanlian ito ng yan o, yung sa kanyang legs. Yan yung nangyari. Yan ang magsasalta siya, no, actually. At binanlian siya ng, well, hindi naman, ako sa tingin ko para aksidente lang dahil ang may hawak ng kumukulong tubig, 6 years old kung nakikita niyo yung babae sa gitna, siya yung nabanlian. Kita yung gandang bata pa naman yan, ano ha? Binigyan naman siya ng certificate ng hospital. Ito yun. Yan yung certificate ng hospital. Pinagtatrabaho siya until pinagpapahinga siya until May 2. Tama ba? May 2 o May 9? But anyway, titingnan niya kung titingnan niya kung April 17 siya nabanlian. Okay? At binigyan siya ng certificate na magpahinga siya. Anyway, titingnan ni Peter kung kung may extend pa. Yeah. Anyway, okay. Okay. What I could do is I could share your screen On the no, I couldn't. I'm trying to share your screen on the no I on the television, but I couldn't. Sorry. Uh, but can you were able to come in last time? How did you do it? Uh, okay, okay. But please try to come in because you're the most important guy. Really? I actually that was the technician who did it, and he's not around right now. And I really do not know what to do, to be honest. Uh, that's the only link I have, and that's how he taught me. If you click that link, you should be able to get in, according to him. No. It will not work on Safari. It will work on non iPhone. Well, it will work non iPhone phones. uh, Other phones. It doesn't work on iPhones, actually. Oh, so you're using iPhone. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, same with me. What you could do is you could try to use from your iPhone, try to download Opera. Uh, Opera? It's a browser. It's a browser. Opera. Yeah, Opera. 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 Download it, and then you click the link from there. All right. All right. Hi, Maria Josep. Talaga naman. Buti na lang maaga tayo nag-umpisa. Kung hindi, Diyos ko mahabagin. Eh, ito ang problema itong StreamYard eh. Hindi umaandar sa iPhone eh. In fact, although I'm using MacBook now, pero gumagamit ako ng ibang browser. Ang ginagamit ko, Opera. O kaya, hindi ko alam kung uubra sa ano. Kung uubra sa ibang browser. Check ko lang ha. Sandali lang ha. Palagay ko, ano eh. Tingnan natin kung uubra. Alam nyo, parang training ito ha. Nagiging training tuloy. Ng kung paano sa mga guests natin. Anyway, tingnan natin kung uubra naman sa Firefox, no? Hindi tayo sure. Tingnan natin kung uubra. Subukan natin. Invite, copy, tapos punta tayo ng Firefox, kung uubra. Ayun. Pwede, pwede. I am installing what you told me. Yun. Ewan ko naman kasi itong StreamYard, for the life of me, bakit hindi po pwedeng, bakit hindi po pwedeng, ano, while waiting for him, I'd like to read the message of Attorney Francisco Kiko de Guzman, isa sa mga family friends namin. Sabi niya, Dear June, I read your post about today's radio program. I wanted to help you sana, but I'm quite busy today. So may I just make the following queries. Number one, assuming for the sake of argument that there are still welfare cases problems of our FDWs in Hong Kong, has there been no significant improvement since 40 years ago? That's one. Number two, what is the percentage of cases problems vis-a-vis or in relation to the total deployment of OFWs? Number three, according to some reports, we have lost a huge chunk of Hong Kong domestic worker market to Indonesia. If this is true, what could the reasons therefore? Are our domestic workers no longer in demand or preferred as before? Is there not clear and present danger of further losing additional chunk of Hong Kong market in Indonesia? Okay, tatanungin natin 'to mamaya kay ano. Magandang ano ito, magandang issue 'to. Tatanong natin mamaya kay ano, kay kay Peter pag nakapasok na siya. Peter, are you in? Are you already in? Peter? Peter. Alam mo, alam niyo sa totoo lang, minsan mahirap din kausap ang mga domestic helper. Domestic workers, not helper, domestic workers. Dahil yung iba dyan, oo, tapos hindi naman magpapakita. Ilang beses na rin nangyari sa akin yan. Noong nakakalakad pa ako, so, nilapit sa akin, keso daw sa hinupuan siya ng amo niya. Ako naman, siyempre, mali naman yan. Bakit ganyan ang ginawa sa'yo? Punta tayo ng POA, sasabahan kita, magre-reklamo tayo. Hinintay ko ng mga 2 oras, hindi dumating. Gusto kong sakalin. Alam nyo, minsan talagang ganyan ang nangyayari talaga eh. Wala tayong magagawa eh. You cannot, yung bang gusto mo ng tulungan o tinutulungan mo na, yun, may pumasok. There you are. There you are, my friend. Oh, thank goodness. There you are. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm trying for Clarence to come in. She said she's still inside the office of the agency. I do not know. And
scheduled Clarence for 4:30 to 5, I believe.
Yeah.
It's not time.
It's okay. It's okay. Actually, they can come in. Anybody can come in because it seems nobody is coming in. None of them.
Maybe you. I checked that Mary Ann is online. Maria is online. I have to go out and come back in here. I've downloaded the Opera browser.
And that's why you were able to come in. Yes, okay.
So maybe I need to go out in order to search and see what they have done. They need. How do they need to come in? From the StreamYard link or from the Facebook link?
From the StreamYard link.
Sorry?
From the StreamYard link.
Oh my goodness, that means all of them have to download Opera first, browser, if they're using iPhone.
Or Firefox.
I know, but they need to
or Mozilla. Yes.
So I need to contact each one of them to, if they're not using iPhone, they can log in or they cannot.
Yes. If they're not using iPhone, actually it is the Safari that is a problem, not the iPhone. They can use the iPhone, but they have to use another browser. They have to download another browser.
I will contact everyone and tell them they have to download a browser in order to get online because of...
Yes. Yeah. Firefox, Mozilla, or Opera.
Okay, I do it now. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Wala tayong magagawa. Dapat pala pero alam mo, naging guest ko yan last time. Hindi naman nagkaroon ng ganyang problema. Bakit ngayon anyway, ayoko na lang magreklamo. Pero sayang naman. Sus Maria Joseph. Kailangan turuan mo. Yan, spoon feed mo. Hindi ko naman kilala itong iba eh. So, mga kapatid, habang hinihintay natin sila, to sa mga kapatid natin sa agency, okay? Yung pag-accredit ng employer, sabi nga ko nga kanina, sinimplify na nila into 3 documents na lang. Number 1, recruitment agreement at saka special power or special power of attorney. Ngayon, mamimili lang kayo dun sa dalawang yan. Of course, mas simplified ang SPA or special power of attorney. Kaya lang, kung gusto nyo i-detail yung paano kayo babayaran, saan ibabayad, or kung anong gagawin sa mga, kung may mangyari sa worker, kung anong gagawin nung kapartner ninyo, nung employer, or whatever, yan. Mas maganda ako, I will go with the recruitment agreement. Pero kung may yung iba naman kasi dyan, ura-urada, sige, SPA na lang. Nasa sa inyo yan. Pero hindi naka-spell out yung ano ninyo. Of course, kung ang kausap ninyo ay maayos naman kausap, kamukha ng iba, mga ibang European countries, no? Maayos naman kausap yan, at may sarili silang bansa. Taiwan, ganyan din. No? Meron silang batas ko anong dapat mong gawin. Minsan nga lang, hindi sinusunod. Pero that being said, ako, I would rather go sa recruitment agreement. Then number 2, job order or manpower request. Diyan naman nakasaad yung kailangan na tao, at saka yung magkano sweldo, libre ticket, libre processing. Remember ha, mga OFWs, processing sa PUEA at saka visa, employer po ang nagbabayad niyan, hindi kayo. At saka ticket, hindi kayo. At saka yung insurance, hindi kayo. Yung passport, yung medical, at saka training, yan yung nasa rules yan, pre-employment expenses yan. Pwedeng kayo magbayad, at kung mabait yung employer ninyo, i-reimburse sa inyo. Pero technically, dahil pre-employment yan, bago kayo matanggap, meron kayo dapat yan. Parang ganon. So pwedeng kayo magbayad yan. Walang violation ang recruitment agency kung kayo ang nagbayad yan. Ahead, no? Isa yun. Pero dapat may existing job order, siyempre. Okay? And of course, the most important thing of all, yung master employment contract. Meaning, bakit master? Kasi minsan kinukuha tao mahigit isa. Minsan 100, 50, ganun. So, isang kopya, isa-xerox na lang, pero tatatakan yun, i-verify yun. Tapos, pagka na-verify na lahat ng dokumento, mag-i-issue ang Migrant Workers Office ng Certificate of Accreditation. Natural, may mga additional requirements, siyempre, na hihingin sa employer, like yung kanyang certificate of business license, yung kanyang ID, dahil siya yung pumirma doon sa mga dokumento, yung mga ganon. Ayun, sa mga countries naman na halimbawa walang Migrant Workers Office or POLO, walang Labor Attaché Office. Okay, Office of the Labor Attaché. So, maghanap na lang kayo ng pinakamalapit na embassy or consulate na under ang jurisdiction yung bansang gusto nyong pagtrabahuhan, or yung employer na kausap ninyo. I'm now talking to the agency owners. I'll give you an example. A few days ago, may nag-email sa akin. Kailangan ng mga workers. Ang problema, yung bansa niya, wala tayong polo or wala tayong MW or Migrant Workers Office. Ngayon, ang problema, ang pinaka-under ng jurisdiction sa kanya is Nigeria. So, kinakailangan pumunta pa siya doon sa Nigeria dahil doon nga yung polo natin or yung embassy natin para doon niya pa-authenticate. Pero tandaan nyo, i-authenticate lang yan, hindi yan i-verify. Pag na-authenticate yan, dadalhin dito, i-verify, tsaka pa lang i-verify at i-accredit ng POEA or ng Department of Migrant Workers. Okay? So medyo mahaba-haba ng konti nako. Dahil hindi nga na-verify ng Migrant Workers Office or ng MWO or ng Polo. Yan. Maliwanag ha? Kapag ka walang polo. Tapos, ngayon, pwede rin ha? Ito naman. Kung kayo ay full, ito'y para lang sa mga full license ha? Hindi ito sa may humahawak ng provisional license agency. Kapag kayo ay fully licensed agency, yung employer pumunta dito, bumisita dito, papuntahin nyo lang dito, padalhin nyo na lang yung dokumento niya, dalhin nyo sa POEA, pipirma na lang siya sa harap ng any officer ng POEA or ng Migrant Workers Office. Department of Migrant Workers. Okay? Pipirma siya ng recruitment agreement. Yun, nakapasok na. Pasok tayo. Sino yung nakapasok? Sino ito? Ano pangalan mo, anak? Hello? Hello? Are you still there? Hello? Nakapasok ka pero ayaw kang magpakilala. Nawala. Ano pangalan mo? Lagay niyo yung pangalan ninyo pag papasok kayo. Lagay niyo yung pangalan mo at saka yung video. Pumasok nga kayo tapos madilim naman na nakikita sa inyo. Ang pangit naman tingnan. Sino man itong nakapasok na ito? Pakilagay niyo yung pangalan ninyo, please. Ano doon naman sa settings yata or ano? Ano sa settings hindi, wala sa settings. Tama, sa settings. Wala sa settings. Wala Basta bago kayo pumasok, lagay niyo yung pangalan ninyo. Nakalagay naman doon. Ayun. Sa bandang kanan, nakalagay edit name. Yung merong tatlong katabi ng mic. Lumabas naman ngayon. Ano ba nangyari doon? Pumasok ko tapos lumabas. Nakakaano na tayo ha? Ilang oras na lang. Ayun. Sino ba ito? Efren Domingo. Watching po from Hong Kong. Si Aris Domingo. Hi Aris. Thank you for watching ha. Ang problema yung itong ating mga guest hindi makapasok Mga iPhone ba gamit ninyo? Pag iPhone kasi, Safari hindi gumagana ang StreamYard. So ang gawin ninyo, mag-download kayo either Opera or yung Mozilla or yung Firefox kung tawagin. Yun. Tapos yung link na binigay ko sa inyo, i-cut and paste nyo lang doon sa itaas. lalabas na tong StreamYard. Ilagay nyo naman yung pangalan ninyo. Doon sa, kung nakikita nyo yung bandang itaas, yung merong parang microphone. Yung meron tatlo, sa katabi noon may tatlo. Wala na naman uli. May tatlong what you call this, may tatlong tuldok doon. Pindutin nyo yun, ando nakalagay parang modify name yata. Ano ba nakalagay doon? Parang nakalagay edit name. Ayun. Edit name. And ayun. Device not connected. Ano yun? Bakit gano'n? Ayun. Sino na to? Ba't di mo nilagay pangalan mo?
Marlon Martil.
Ikaw ba si MM? Oo. Ba't di mo nilagay pangalan mo, MM? Dapat pagpasok mo, may nakalagay doon yung pangalan mo. Nakalagay lang dito yung StreamYard eh. Oo.
Hindi sir alam.
Hindi,
Good
ganito.
afternoon, Sir John.
Doon sa bandang doon sa bandang ibaba, doon sa nakikita mo, merong parang yung tayong dalawa. Merong parang tatlong tuldok doon. Pindutin mo yung tatlong tuldok sabi ng microphone. Pindutin mo yung tatlong tuldok. Tapos lalabas yung edit name. I-edit mo yung pangalan mo, lagay mo MM. Ayun, may pumasok na isa. Ayun. There you go. MM is already in. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. No problem. Hi, Peter. Welcome back.
So has anybody been in yet?
Only MM so far.
So let's start.
Now we have another one. She keeps on coming in and out, but I don't know.
Sir, because I got okay.
I'm trying to bring her in, but I don't know. Okay, M. Let's start with you muna siguro, M. Tsaka na natin problemahin yung ating pangalan. At least sa pangalan mo, MM, no, ha?
Makita niyo ako, sir? Makikita niyo ako?
Kita. Okay. Ngayon, puwasok na sino to? Si Mona? Maria. Hi, Maria. Okay. Now we're getting merrier. How do you solve the problem of Maria? Okay. MM and Maria is in, and somebody is coming in also.
Hello.
And her name is Mary Ann. Hello, Mary Ann.
Hello, Sir June.
Now we're getting merrier again. Okay. So, okay.
So let's start.
Hello, everyone.
Okay. As my co-anchor, Mr. Pieter Nootenboom, my co-anchor, would you mind introducing one by one our guests?
The first guest to speak today will be Mary Ann. Her case took around 8 months. Last year started with the employer, but it's best that she explained her case herself. And the case started. The trouble started with the employer earlier, when the employer attempted to overcharge her illegally, and she took the case to the labor tribunal.
Okay. So, if you don't mind, Peter, while I will allow Mary Ann to speak, I will mute the mics of the other two. But please don't get out. No, I'm just muting your mics so that Mary Ann can explain without any disturbance. Only my microphone and Peter's microphone will be on. Is that okay with you, ladies? I hope you don't mind. Mary Ann, you have the floor. Umpisahan mo yung istorya ng buhay mo.
Yes.
Okay po, sir. Pero just bear with me if the...
Bumati ka muna sa ating mga nakikinig at nanonood.
Hello po sa lahat ng nanonood at nakikinig sa program ni Sir June with Sir Peter. Ako po si Mary Ann Mataya at isa po ako sa OFW na natulungan ni Sir Peter.
Nasa Pilipinas ka na ba, Mary Ann?
Andito na po ako sa Pilipinas since last year, November po.
Okay. Kasi mukhang gusto maging ko anchor ng aso nyo eh. Anyway, nadidinig ko sa background. No problem. I can hear your dog. It seems he wants also to be ako anchor. Anyway, that being said, okay, please let's start with your story. How it came, how did you, what did you experience, and how did our co-anchor, Mr. Pieter Nootenboom, helped you through the process?
What what happened to me, sir, during the time na nasa Hong Kong po ako was yung employer ko po, nagkaroon kami ng heated argument due to the market money na binigay
Market
niya sa akin.
money?
Opo. Kasi prior to that po kasi, during pandemic, parang nagbago po kasi yung employer ko, yung attitude ng employer ko. So, naapektuhan na po yung employee-employer relationship namin dalawa. So, yung pinaka-last pong arguments namin talaga is kasi every time na nauubos yung pera na pang market ko is binibigyan niya ako ng panibago. So,
pamalengke, in short. Yung pamalengke.
Really?
Tapos po, yung nung Chinese New Year kasi, mayroon siya sa akin binigay na 500. Inutusan niya kasi ako nung bumili sa market. So ako naman, ginawa ko, baka after I buy the food from the market, binigay ko yung sukle and yung item sa amo ko na hindi na ako naglilista. Kasi nililista ko po yun kinukompute ko po yung mga resibo, tapos nagre-remit po ako ng pera or ng sukle or yung pinagkagastusan ko kay amo. But during that time, yung 500 po, hindi ko na po yung kinumpute. And then, later on, binigyan niya ako ulit ng 1,000. Yung 1,000 na yun yung kinumputan ko ng mga receipts. Kaso, nung nag-remit pa kanya ng mga receipts, hinahanapan niya po ako ng 500.
Okay.
Ngayon, ako naman po, nag-explain po ako sa kanya na, Ma'am, I already gave you the 500 with the receipts. With the, yung receipt ng item that day. Pero ini-insist niya po na hindi daw po. So ngayon, nakipag-argue ako sa kanya. Tapos, ang sabi niya po sa akin, kung ang gawin ko daw is bayaran ko na lang yung 500. Kung hindi ko daw mababayaran, bawasan niya daw yung sahod ko ng 500. So, since hindi naman po ako ignorant sa law ng Hong Kong na once na may mga nasisira yung mga employee is 300 lang ang binabawas ng mga employer. Kahit hindi naman, for me po, hindi ko naman talaga kasalanan. Baka nakalimutan niya lang din talaga. So ngayon, sabi ko kay ma'am, if you're going to deduct 500 from my salary, I will call the police. Sabi niya, okay, call the police. Then, ginawa ko po, tumawag po ako ng police for assistance kasi talagang mainit na po yung arguments namin ng amo ko that day.
Medyo gumit na ka sa bandang kanan mo, Juan. Yan, okay. Kasi kanina, yung okay, ngayon. Tumawag ka ng police, ano nangyari?
And then po, may police po na pumunta doon sa bahay ng amo ko. Pinag-usap po kami. Tapos, kinausap po separate po kami kinausap ng police. And then,
yung telepono mo laging gumigilid eh. Igitna mo nga ulit, yan. Okay. Ngayon, tapos?
And then po, sabi po nung police, both sa akin at sa employer ko, we cannot solve this case since there's no evidence. So, the police just gave me the reference number in case my employer deducted my salary, then I can go to the labor department for complaints. And then, after the police left the house, ayun po, ibinawasan po talaga ng amo ko yung sahod ko.
500?
Opo. hindi na po yung
ngayon, paano pumasok si Mr. Peter? Paano ka naman niya tinulungan?
kasi po kinabukasan po pumunta ako sa labor department and then nag-complain pa ako for claims sa labor relations. And then nag-post po kasi ako sa Facebook, sabi ko, napapunta po ako doon sa labor. So may isa po akong friend sa Facebook na sabi niya, Ding, anong ginagawa mo? What are you doing there? Sabi, irereklamo ko lang yung amo ko. Tapos, you can contact this person. Ano nga yung sinabi? He's nice and he's going to help you. He helped a lot of OFW already. Ako naman po, actually, ayoko sanang magwala kasi foreigner. Baka ako,
Okay.
scam.
Oh.
So, ngayon po, what I did, I checked Sir Pieter Nootenboom's profile and then I added him and then that's the time I sent him message. I messaged, sir, this is, I introduced myself and someone introduced you to me and I just wanted to seek for some advice.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mariano. Peter, would you mind summarizing what you did to help her so that she could come home? Peter, I did not mute you, Peter. Sorry. Hello. Yeah, Peter. You have to unmute your you muted your mic. Yeah, now it's okay. Oh, yeah. You have to unmute your mic. You muted your mic. Okay.
It did it by itself. I didn't do it.
Okay.
So what happened is Mary asked me, and I arranged to meet. I ended up that I used her phone to talk to the employer on WeChat. She was talking in Chinese. I was responding in English. So we're both using Google Translate, knowing that if you do long messages, you might have wrong translation. So as much as possible, I kept all the questions and answers very short to avoid miscommunication. So we spent 8 hours arguing and debating with the employer and pointing out all her breaches under the law. Then the following day, we hadn't settled. The following day, we spent another 4 hours arguing online. At the end of it, finally said, "Fire you." Oh, I said, "You," but it was, of course, she didn't know it was me. She said, "I said, so that means you terminate my contract?" "Yes." "Oh, thank you." I said, "So we'll proceed to the Labor Department and for prosecution." Then what she did, within a matter of minutes, I've deposited some $1,000 something to your, because she obviously didn't want to go to court. But that wasn't the amount I was minimum looking for. So we then filed a case with the Labor Department and took her to court. And in it was the point of getting the minimum that we wanted to get. We claimed a higher amount because you can always negotiate not up. So we settled for another $3,000 something. So we got around $35,000 Hong Kong in all. But the case took a time of 8 months before we got the settlement.
Wow!
And by the way, this employer is really my abang, earning $200,000 a month. And she was so mean to her helper. It's absolutely shocking. But I would like Mary Ann to talk some more now.
Yeah. Okay. Mary Ann, where's Mary Ann? Mary Ann, where are you, Mary Ann? Okay, okay, sige.
Gumagalaw po kasi.
Oo nga eh, gumagalaw eh. Yung telepono mo, nag-disco mag-isa. Anyway, so sabi nga ni Kwan na okay, anong ginawa mo nung 8 months? Inabot pala ng 8 months. Ano yun? Nasa employer ka nung 8 months na yun na naglilitis kayo o nasaan ka?
Kasi po, nung time na po kasi is kasagsagan pa po ng pandemic, so natigil po yung hearing nag-close po yung court. So dapat na-resume lang siya. Dapat yung first hearing is June, so na-resume siya ng May nung naging okay na yung
Okay.
yung
Sige, go ahead.
situation. Yes po. So nagstay po ako sa shelter sa Saikong. Yun po yung tinutuluyan namin before.
Sino nagpapatakbo ng shelter na yun?
It was run by a priest.
Okay. Hindi na ating consulate. Hindi na ating polo. Hindi.
No po.
Okay. So, masaya ka naman sa kinatapusan ng inyong resolution na natanggap mo sa pagtulong ni Peter at saka sa between you and your employer. Acceptable naman sa'yo.
Actually, sir, for me po, I was hoping na hindi na sana dapat kami umabot sa ganun. Kung binigay lang ng employer ko yung rightful benefits and ko dun sa claims sa kanya. Kaso nga lang po, since nakipagmatigasan siya sa deduction siya sa akin, tas sa air ticket ko, so kaya po kami umabot sa ganun na punto. So, happy naman po ako sa pag-help ni sir. Actually, very thankful ako. Wala po akong no doubt kung wala po akong masabi.
Teka. Ikaw ba bumili ng ticket mo?
Yes po, ako po ang bumili. Kasi po sabi po kasi ng presiding officer nung last hearing na nagsettled ako, sabi ng presiding officer sa employer ko, you cannot buy her ticket if she wanted to you cannot buy her the ticket because here you must give her cash. Kasi po nasa labor tribunal na po kami. So meaning to say, claims na po kasi ang ko doon.
Okay. Anyway, putulin lang kita. Okay, maputo lang kita. How many years ka nagtrabaho sa employer na ito?
7 years, 0.8 months.
So wala nang paso na yung mo. Paso na yung OFW mandatory insurance mo. Sayang, no?
Di ko po alam yun. Kasi sa insurance company yun naman nagtatrabaho yung amo ko po.
No. De, bago ka kasi pumunta ng Hong Kong, since 2007, meron tayo kung tawagin na OFW mandatory insurance. Na within 2 years, the first 2 years of your contract, no? Kung halimbawa, 1 year ka lang nagtrabaho, yung unexpired portion of your contract, pwedeng bayaran ng insurance ng 3 months of every year. Isa yun. Pangalawa, yung repatriation ticket mo, pwedeng i-reimburse sa'yo ng insurance company. Kung ang employer mo ang nagpaalis sa'yo. Parang gano'n. Kaya lang, dahil 7 years na, wala na, paso na. So, dapat sana ni-renew mo. No? Mura lang naman yun, hindi naman kamahalan yun. But still, kulit the hero, no?
Excuse me po.
I think, Peter, are you raising your hand, Peter?
Hindi naman po kasi yan, sir. No, sir. Hindi naman po kasi yan, sir, sinasabi. So, hindi ko po yan alam.
I cannot hear. I'm going to have to connect earphone.
Yes.
There's no sound coming from your end.
And
me too, I'm using an earphone. Hindi talaga that is the fault of many agencies in the Philippines. Hindi nila sinasabi yan karamihan sa mga workers. I do not know why, pero kung tutusin, ano nga sila dapat nga sinasabi nila yun eh. Can you hear me now, Peter? Knock-out muna sandali si Peter kasi maglalagay na ng kwan. Anyway, mga kapatid na nakikinig sa akin ngayon, talagang ang iba talaga hindi sinasabi yan ng ibang agent. Hindi lahat yung saan agency ka ba umalis sa atin, Mary Ann? Anong pangalan ng agency mo? Name hire ka. Imposible, wala naman direct sa household workers
Ay, para pong doon nag-apply sa Hong Kong tapos may ano na lang po ditong agency sa Pinas, parang ganun po yata yun.
Oo, pero dumaan ka rin sa agency, hindi ka dumaan sa agency. Doon sa kontrata mo. Hindi, diyan pero sa Pilipinas, kinakailangan dumaan ka rin sa agency. PUA hindi nagpo-process ng household workers eh. So ano nakalagay sa kontrata mo? Hawak mo ba yung kontrata mo?
Hindi ko na nga po alam kung nasa yung mga kontrata.
Okay. Anyway, that is very sad, no? Kaya lang, dapat sana hawak mo, no? Dahil, yun nga, girl, ano magagawa natin?
Naligpit na po kasi ako dito sa bahay. Baka po naligpit ko na kung saan.
Okay. Uulitin ko, no? Bago tayo pumunta sa susunod na magsasalita, uulitin ko, pag kayo ay umalis ng Pilipinas, habang pinoprocess ang dokumento ninyo, meron kayong tawagin yung OFW Mandatory Insurance. Under yan ng Republic 10022. Yan, ang coverage ng insurance na yan, kung ano man ang mangyari sa inyo, yung wag naman sa bato tumama ko tawagin sa Katagalugan mamatay kayo, yung bangkay ninyo iuwi rito, yung mga gamit ninyo, remains ninyo iuwi rito. O halimbawa na imbalido kayo, makakatanggap kayo ng $7,500. Natural death $10,000. Kung accident, makakatanggap kayo ng ng 15,000, parang ganon. Ayun. Pinasok ko uli si Maria. Si Maria laging nawawala. Mukhang mahina ang signal mo, Maria. Maria. Unmute mo yung mic mo kasi naka-mute yung mic mo, Maria. Yan. Oo. Parang mahina yung signal mo eh. Nawawala ka lagi. Ikaw lagi na Anyway, si Clarence, natutuwa ko kay Clarence yung picture niya, akala mo namumundok na NPA masyadong samantalang nung una ko nakikita yung picture, sabi ko, ang laki ng pinayat mo, Clarence. Anyway, hintayin lang natin si Mr. Ko, Balik muna ulit tayo kay Mary Ann. So Mary Ann, unmute mo yung mic mo, no? Naka-mute eh. Pero okay ka naman, satisfied ka naman sa nangyari. Kasi ganito yan.
Yes po.
May natitira pa bang unexpired portion doon sa kontrata mo? Sa employer na inalisan mo? Meron pa ba o wala na?
Wala na po yata kasi mag-end dapat ako sa kanya last year, October. Last year, October.
Okay. So, parang nag-extend ka lang, parang gano'n. So, okay lang. So, wala nang problem. Okay, wala na siyang utang sa'yo.
Wala naman na po. So far po, wala naman na.
Pero the fact na ikaw ang nagbayad ng ticket mo pa uwi, pwede mo yang singilin doon sa agency nagpaalis sa'yo?
Ano po sir, nagbigay po yung amo ko ng cash doon sa last settlement ng hearing namin.
Ano na pala kayo? Kung nagkaroon na pala kayo ng settlement.
Hinintay niya pa pong umabot kaya kasi kami sa third hearing. Kasi yung una at pangalawa po, gusto niya siyang bibili. Dapat po sabi ng judge, hindi nga daw po pwede na siyang bibili. Hindi siya mag-decide.
Bakit?
Kaya yung sa third hearing po, sabi po kasi nung judge sa tribunal, nung sa third hearing, is dapat po cash nang magbibigay yung amo, hindi ticket.
Bali ikaw ang bibili.
Kasi pinagalitan niya nga po yung amo kasi you should think about some of the OFWs na hindi lang sa halimbawa, bibili ka ng ticket sa Manila lang. Not all OFW ay hanggang Manila lang. Some are from other provinces. And from other provinces, magta-travel pa siya kung it's either nasa mas malayo pa. So,
tama nga naman. Magaling ang tribunal in fairness
Kasi
magaling siya.
Tatlong judge po yun lahat. Yung pangatlo po ang magaling.
Very fair. Magaling. Maganda ang sinabi niya. So, binigyan ka ng pambili ng ticket hanggang sa probinsya mo, in short.
Yes po.
Ayun. Magaling. So, wala ka ng ibang claim sa employer mo so far?
Ay, yung hindi na po na-claim doon is yung sa statutory holidays and rest days na until now po is yung nilalaban po ni Sir Peter sa mga OFW. Kasi po, hindi rin po ako aware doon na dapat po pala yon kapag nagbibigay ng curfews to employer, dapat po pala is hindi yun pwede. Kaso since yun na po yung common norms dyan sa Hong Kong na nagbibigay ng curfews, so ang sabi po kasi ng judge doon is as long as hindi ka naman pinagtatrabaho at umuwi ka sa bahay niyo na nagpapahinga ka lang din naman, so hindi na yun ng employer na magbabayad or magkakaroon ng criminal case.
Para namang okay, but ang problema kasi kinakailangan patunayan mo meron kang pinanghahawakan ng dokumento na yung statutory overtime, yung ganon. Dapat tinrabaho mo yun.
Yes po. Ang sabi po ng judge,
for example, kung halimbawa sa factory, yung bandi clock, yung ganon, dapat meron kang papakita ng ganon or yung attendance sheet, parang ganon. Kung wala ka may ipakita ng ganon, mahihirapan tayong ilaban yan dito. Actually, ganito yan May batas tayo sa POEA na kung ano yung hindi ibinigay sa iyo ng employer mo, na karapatan mo dapat ang agency rito na nagpadala sa iyo ang magbabayad. Parang ganon. Parang ganon ang parang ganon ang nakalagay sa batas. Yun yung kutawagin nga yung JSL or Joint and Several Liability. However, hindi ganun kadali yun. Kinakailangan yun ipakita nyo ang ebidensya na dapat nyo i-claim yun. Hindi pwede yung salita lang. Parang gano'n.
Sabi nga po ng judge, dapat may picture ka nung pagpapatrabaho sa'yo during your rest days and statutory at dapat kasama ka dun sa picture.
Correct. Yun.
So, yun po, hindi na po ako nakipag-argue dun since ang tagal-tagal ko na po pati. So, that's why, since nabayaran naman na ng amo ko, nagsettle na po ako.
Pero 7 years, tapos ginanong ka, nakakapanghinayang?
Yes po, nanginay naman po ako kasi okay naman po kami nung una. Ito lang naman pong nagkaroon ng pandemic, parang di na naging okay.
Maybe because the money stopped coming in, so she started being too stingy. Okay, thank you very much, Mary Ann.
Thank you po.
Peter, do we have any other speakers that you? Who's the next? Would you mind introducing her?
The next one is Marie, who has a big case against her employer.
Marie. Is that the Maria? Okay. Mary Ann, paki-mute lang please ha. Okay, Maria, you have the floor. Ikwento mo naman ang iyong buhay, Day. Nasabay na sa Pilipinas ka na?
Hello sir, good afternoon. Magandang
Good
hapon po sa
afternoon.
lahat.
Oo. Nasa ka
Ngayon po,
ngayon?
nandito pa rin ako sir sa Hong Kong.
Okay, sige. So, okay, umpisahan mo please start with your story. Umpisahan mo yung kwento mo.
Okay, so actually sir, I was terminated last February 22.
Because?
February 25. I was terminated last February 25. And then after that, after I leave in my employer's home last February 25, hindi po kami nagsettle ng amo ko kasi po yung mga dapat po yung mga claims ko like long service po at saka yung mga leave ticket hindi po nila binibigay sa akin. Kaya pumunta po ako sa Labor Department ng Hong Kong at doon po nagtanong kung magkano po lahat yung mga claims ko makukuha sa amo kasi po yung pag-terminate po sa akin is parang mali kasi yung nagperma po sa akin is yung lalaki, yung amo kong lalaki and then yung nag-terminate is yung
Ano
amo kong
daw ang
babae.
reason bakit ka tinerminate, Maria?
Yung reason sir is kasi may natanggap po ng na sulat yung babae kong amo sa bahay that time. May nag-deliver ng sulat na yon. Tapos yung sulat supposed to be na sa akin yon. Pero parang pinakialaman at saka yung babae kong amo parang pinipuwersa ako na buksan yung sulat na yun kung saan nanggaling yung sulat. Yun ang
Okay.
dahilan kung bakit na-terminate ako ng amo ko that time. Pero yung sulat na yun natanggap last February 22. And then later na-terminate ako last February 25. 3 days after
Mhm.
na nakatanggap ng sulat yung amo kong babae.
Okay.
Apo.
Tapos,
And then,
ano ba yung nilalaman ng sulat na yon?
kasi yun sir, nanggaling kasi yun sa bangko yung mail na yun. Sa bangko po yun yung sulat. Supposed to be hindi kasi yun hindi sa amo ko yung sulat sa akin. Pero ewan ko, parang pinakialaman ko yung sulat. Parang gusto niyang buksan yung sulat. Tapos, after na binuksan ko yung sulat na yun, kinuha niya sa akin yung sulat and then pinicturean niya at saka pinasa sa asawa niya sa amo kong lalaki. Yun lang yung dahilan yung kung bakit na-terminate ako. Tapos, ang time na yun, nung bumaba ako ng February 25.
Parang ang babaw naman ang dahilan para i-terminate ka. Dahil lang sa sulat ng bangko, i-terminate ka.
Yun nga lang sir, pero actually 7 years and 4 months ako doon sa amo ko. Isang amo lang yun. Isang amo ko lang yan since 2015.
How long have you been working with them? How many years?
Since 2015, 7 years and 4 months. Until
Okay.
February 2023.
Uh-huh.
And then,
Tapos?
yun lang sir, actually manabaw yung reason. Tapos,
Babaw nga, babaw.
Hindi nga ako nila kinausap about sa email na yun. And then, that was February 25, na isang may-ari ng agency owner dito sa Hong Kong. Pumunta sa bahay, tapos, yun yung nag-usap sa akin na sabi, yung babae kong amo daw, gusto niya i-terminate yung kontrata ko. Pero yung nakapirma sa akin is yung lalaki, yung
Yung lalaki.
among lalaki. Pero mali sana yun eh. yung mag-terminate is yung lalaki. Kasi siya yung nagperma ng contract, hindi yung babae. And then nung umalis ako ng February 25 kasi hindi kami nagkaayos about sa yung claims ko kasi because of the reason na nilagay doon sa termination is misconduct. Kaya yung long service at saka yung 1 month leave notice hindi po nila ibibigay sa akin kasi daw yung reason of termination na inilagay doon is misconduct. Kaya sabi ko, bakit hindi ko makuha kasi that time hindi ko naintindihan yung kung ano yung misconduct. Yun pala parang against sa law ng ng labor ng Hong Kong. Kaya sabi ko sa amo ko, okay, I will go down. I will not sign any papers and I will not get any money because I need to uh, ask the labor Hong Kong about my claims. Kaya pumunta ako ng labor, Hong Kong labor at nagtanong doon kung magkano ba dapat yung makukuha ko sa amo ko. Kasi yung reason of termination na inilagay nila is misconduct. Hindi ko daw pwede na kunin yung yung mga long service ko at saka yung 1 month notice ko.
Peter, are you there, Peter? Peter? Can you hear us, Peter? Parang wala si Peter Peter, hello Peter.
Yes,
Peter?
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
Peter, can you this is something new to me personally, to be honest, because in my many years in recruitment business, misconduct is a very generic and very wide, very broad. In the case of Maria, she was after hearing her story, the reason for her termination is very shallow, and the reason being used.
The reason is totally shocking, and it is an invasion on her personal privacy. She received a letter.
Please enlighten us. How what is your opinion on it? Because since you've been helping her, you might be in a better position to explain.
Okay. What happened is she co-guaranteed a loan for somebody, and unfortunately, so what happened is the person didn't pay. So then they sent, the finance company sent a letter to the employment address of Marie. The employer then forced the helper to open the letter in front of her and then demanded to take the letter and photograph the letter and then send a photo to her husband and then immediately to terminate her on the spot. This is called invasion of privacy. Totally disgraceful. Now we have a case against the employer for breach of the statutory holidays, because let me just briefly deviate from Marie for a moment. All domestic helpers are entitled to, by law, the statutory holidays within the first 3 months, and they must be given the statutory holiday or an alternative day within 7 days within the first 3 months of each statutory holiday. Now, what happens is many employers will say, "Oh, you're not entitled." Wrong. They are absolutely entitled, and I have helped to file helpers to file criminal cases and to be prosecuted for that breach. So, and they have been fined in the court. They could actually go to jail. So this is what happened in the case of Marie also. But we brought that case up later. But what we have done in her case, she was quite clever herself. Instead of filing the formal complaint, what she did first herself, of her own initiative, is she got when the employer terminated her, she asked the employer to give her a good release, which the employer did. So she got a good release, she found a new employer, processed the new employer, and then filed the case against the employer. Her court
the old one.
Against the employer. The court hearing now will be on the 26th of this month. So it's a very interesting case. but and it was a smart move in order that she could process to the new processing to a new employer.
Okay.
But
So now you're telling me she's now working for a new employer and she filed
not yet.
a case against her old employer for invasion of
Yeah,
privacy. Am I correct?
basic, basically that's correct. So
Okay.
let's see on the 26th the outcome of the case. But the employer needs to pay the severance pay for 7 years and 4 months because the employer is claiming that she's guilty of misconduct. Where is she guilty of misconduct within her work?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
maybe perhaps she should have been more wise and not co-signed for somebody else who let her down.
Yeah.
But she
That
did
is.
her best to help her. She did her best to help her friend. But this is nothing to do with the employment
I
contract,
was about to
and
say that. That is
it
none of
cannot
their business. That is the personal undertaking of
absolutely.
Maria. Yes.
But you see, in Hong Kong, many employers actually seem to think that they own their helper. They do not own their helper. Their helper is a human being that has rights. My goodness, they're absolutely shocking, some employers, like saying that you can't stay up late. They have a right to some break, to some privacy. So this case will be quite interesting. But it's
I
ongoing,
see.
so we can interview her again in the future. But that's where the case is at this time.
I
But
would like to in our next in our next Hong Kong OFW Connect session, if she could update us what transpired on the 26th hearing, so
yes,
that it would enlighten some of our workers in Hong Kong. Huh?
this is the whole idea also of the group that I run with my wife called HKOFW, which is to make
Mm-hmm.
helpers aware of their rights so they will stand up and fight for their rights. Unfortunately, many are scared of their employers, and we assure them they should not be scared of their employers.
No, you should not. You should not. And remember that. Remember what I told you earlier. There is a law also here in the Philippines. Whatever your employer failed to give you as your right, your salary, your overtime, your ticket, repatriation ticket, your whatever, your pay for your medical expenses and all. If they fail to do that, the agency here in the Philippines who sent you there is equally liable along with your employer. So we could run after them here in case, I mean, if push comes to shove, that is what I mean, that we will do that later, of course. But right now, like our co-host said, you did the right thing and you're very smart in doing that. Congratulations for doing that. Peter, you have the floor. Who will be our next speaker?
The next speaker will be Anne, who was badly burned in an accident by the child
Ah,
of the employer. So she got
beautiful.
shocking burns. She got shocking burns on her leg. I have helped her today. We went to the immigration department and filed all the pictures of the severe burns, which I could, even when I handed them in with her in the immigration, the receiving officer in the mail-in was quite shocked when she saw the photos. What I did is I got all the evidence, put it
Well,
together with two
I have the photos here actually. If you don't
yeah.
mind me showing them, Peter, before we allow before we allow uh, sorry, huh? Let me just show, sorry, huh? Where is it? One moment, sandali. Yeah, here. Yan yung mga, here are the burns of Mary Ann, no? Okay. For everyone's Yan. For everyone's, okay? Here are the burns. Okay. Peter, I'm now putting you back so that everybody can speak. Mary Ann, nakamute ka, Mary Ann. Ikwento
No,
mo nga,
and
Hindi po ako, sir.
ano,
Yung isa po.
it's not Mary Ann. Sorry, it's Anne, not Mary Ann.
there is no Ann here in my, wait.
There is. She's together. If she's not there now, that means she's with Ems. Then Ems, can you please let Anne use your phone now? Ems.
Kasama mo ba, si Mary Ann?
Anne.
Oh, pahiramin mo
sir,
muna.
nasa immigration siya. Nasa immigration siya ata. Kasi nagpasa sa doon ng correspondence address niya ata, sir.
Peter, she's in the immigration. I'm
I finished
submitting
with her.
her.
I finished in the immigration this morning. She has nothing to do in the
So I
immigration.
have no idea
back to the
about her.
shelter.
Oh, I see. Well, anyway, I showed the pictures of her burns, and it's very well,
Shocking.
to say the least, it's very shocking. I have no words to describe it because I'm pretty sure it is very painful, very, very painful. Well, anyway, so I guess since Anne is not here, would you mind describing it, Peter, if you don't mind? Since
So what happened is she was very distraught. She contacted HKOFW, and together with my wife, we talked to her, and she wanted to terminate the contract. So I told her, don't terminate the contract because she would have to pay 1 month in lieu of compensation to the employer. So it would be a lose-lose situation for her. I said, please do not resign. You've got a sick leave certificate. You haven't started the sick leave for 2 days. Instead, you've been working, which is bad for the burn because she's being forced to look after the child during the night, so she hardly gets rest. How can she recover? So what I did is I asked M to help me and to go to the house and to rescue her and bring her to the shelter that Ems is staying in from the church. And I arranged to talk to the shelter to get permission for her to go there. And they agreed. So what we did was I prepared a message for her to give to the employer by text for evidence to say that because you don't allow me to have proper rest, I need to recover. So I'm going temporarily to a shelter and I will report to Immigration and Labor that I'm not in your house because it's impossible for me to have a sick leave in your house and to rest properly because of the kids and two children and one baby in the house. It would be impossible. It's grossly unfair. Sometimes employers are exceedingly abusive. So, and she was also being forced to work on all her rest days and statutory holidays. So I've got several issues to prepare. So what we did is EMS rescued her, brought her to the shelter, and subsequently EMS brought her to the Labour Department injury in the workplace to file a case. So, and I explained to her, enjoy the sick leave, and we will try to extend it if necessary. And during this time, you will enjoy 80% of your salary by law, whether the employer likes it or not. So she has that 80%. And when she's fit to return to work, I talked to her today as well, she will go back to work and she will work to rule. There will be no more abuse by the employer. If the employer then terminates her, that's fine because the employer will have to pay compensation, and we have a complete track record of abuse thereby of the employer. which will hopefully give her the opportunity and consideration by the Immigration Department to allow her to transfer to a new employer in Hong Kong without having to exit back to the Philippines. Usually, you have to find an employer within 2 weeks, but we have had other cases which haven't come online yet that we can interview, where we have filed a case. One is $130,000 against the employer, where she has been able to process and start a new employment contract without completing the case against the employer. The employer wants to fight the helper, and the case is likely to take up to a year. The employer is exceedingly foolish because the legal costs for the employer will run between probably $180,000 to 300,000 Hong Kong dollars in charges. Usually, the tribunal judge will say, or rather presiding officer is what they're called, will say to the helper, you realize if you go to court, if you lose the case, you will have to pay your employer maybe nearly $200,000 or $300,000, and they try to scare the living hell out of these poor domestic helpers. In reality, as I explained to the helper, if you haven't got any money, well, you can't get blood from a stone. So, and you have a good case, so why not fight? This intimidation, there is, of course, sometimes I feel discrimination. We had a case last week where in the court the judge was really shouting at the helper, which is quite disgraceful. The judge should show some more respect for the helper. But unfortunately, that is the situation. Some judges are good, some are bad. But in this particular case that I was referring to, the other case of $130,000, the employer is rather foolish because I have many issues which we have already filed against the employer, like the illegal structures on her house, and the helper was forced to live in ramshackle storage area illegally built in the basement car park of the building, which again, of course, is a breach of the immigration law. So, of course, we always look for every point that we can use to defend the helper. But I think a lot more could be done by more education in the Philippines by the various departments, so that domestic helpers would be aware of all their rights and what they need to do when they come to Hong Kong. There are so many issues that we can still discuss in the future on this.
I see.
So the case is the case of.
I just want to ask Peter, if you don't mind, how did she get those burns?
She was in a very small apartment of the employer, in the kitchen, and the child is allowed, the 6-year-old boy is allowed to get water from the thermo flask. So I don't know how it happened. The child got the water, and she was facing the other direction to the sink in the apartment. They have video recording, and she was having to carry the baby around. They do the washing, do the housework, and as she was standing there, somehow the child, inadvertently or not, I don't know, spilled a whole cup of absolute boiling water on her leg.
Oh my God!
She was severely scalded.
Is this both legs or only one leg?
One leg, and the employer was not even sorry, did not have one iota of pity for the poor helper. Never said sorry or anything. Terrible.
No remorse of no feeling of remorse, huh? Oh my gosh.
No, this is very common. This is very common, maltreatment of domestic helpers. I come across this, but I must say there are many good employers in Hong Kong. I deal with a minority of abusive people, but I also come across some amazing cases. I have one couple that my wife and I know, and the employer, divorced Australian lady, she actually asked her helper and husband to bring their 2 kids to Hong Kong to be educated here, and she would pay for it. Absolutely amazing. And the child, the girl is very clever, and she did an entrance exam for the Renaissance School in Hong Kong, and they actually gave her a scholarship because she's so clever. Amazing. So there are many good cases that we come across of very compassionate employers. So I also heard of the one case where somebody who was very rich he left all his money to the health and service of the family. The family were
Yeah, yeah. That news came. I mean, we got those news here. It was a very well celebrated news. Yes, yes. Uh,
well
uh, be,
deserved.
be, well, before we go to the next speaker, let me just have a station ID for a while, huh? One moment.
Yes.
Mga pili at natatanging impormasyon mula sa himpilang DWRB News FM. Ikaw ang una. Ikaw ang una.
Okay, Peter, are you still there? Because we have one message here coming from one of the famous labor lawyers here in the Philippines. Are you still with us, Peter? Peter? Yo, Peter? Peter? Hey, Peter? Pete? Hey, Peter? Hello, Peter! Come back! Nawala si paring Peter. Okay. Peter, there is a question here. No. Please come back, Peter. Yeah, okay. With the video, please. Peter, there is a question here that is addressed to our particular. There are three questions here raised by a very famous labor lawyer here in the Philippines. He's very famous for also helping both agencies and OFWs at the same time. Anyway, here is his question. He said, I read your post about today's radio program. I wanted to help, but I'm quite busy, so may I just make the following queries. Number one, assuming for the sake of argument that there are still welfare cases problems of our workers in Hong Kong, has there been no significant improvements over the past 40 years? Can you answer that, Peter? Peter. Yo, Peter, where are you? He disappeared. Nawala sa linya. Ah, Peter, my dear Peter. Oh, Peter, my Peter, wherefore art thou, Peter? Okay. Peter? Hindi pa bumabalik eh. Alam mo, minsan, internet talaga nagloloko eh. Anyway, kayo, si Maria, 7 years. Ilang taong ka na sa Hong Kong? Nakamute ka pa, Nakamute ka, mag-unmute ka.
Sorry, sir. Good afternoon. Unmute na. 22
Ilang
years working in Hong Kong.
22 years?
Bali, oo. Bali, 12 years na naging driver ako dito, sir, sa Hong
Oh,
Kong.
really? So you can
Yes.
drive also, ha?
Tapos,
Okay.
with no violation at all. Ang lisensya ko napakalinis. Tapos,
So,
ako pala si Marludes L. Marfil.
ayun.
Nagtatrabaho dito sa Hong Kong. At saka, nag-umpisa ako ng work dito year 2002 as an OFW. Ang mga nagiging amo ko ay puro puti. British, German, Australian, at saka, yun lang.
Never ka nagkaroon ng Chinese
Tapos,
employer?
ang pinakamababa ko na, Never, sir, sa Hong Kong. Never. Tapos,
Okay.
ah, hello, sir.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead. Nakikinig ako. Nakikinig ako. Sino tumatawag? Kaninong telepono yan? Di akin yan.
Yes, sir.
Well, anyway, ano ba nangyayari dito? Sandali. Mary Ann.
Po.
Oh, Mary Ann. Yun, there goes Peter. Oh, nawala again. Pumasok, lumabas. Labas-pasok si Peter eh. Parang parang ano yung tawag nito? 'Di ba meron tayong panitikan nung araw na labas-pasok si Pedro, ganun-ganun. Anyway, Mary Ann, ilang taon ka na sa ilang taon ka na sa Hong Kong?
Kasi po, 2 employers po ako. So, yung una po, basta almost 10 years po.
Matagal na rin pala, no? Ang tatagal niyo na rin pala, ha?
Opo.
Hindi biro ang mga ano ninyo. Kaya lang, sayang naman, hindi ninyo nire-renew yung inyong OWA or yung okay, there goes. Here comes Peter. But only picture. No pero hindi eh. Hindi kwanto eh. Hindi siya nakapasok eh. Tsaka dalawa lang kayo natitira dito eh. Si Maria at si Mary Ann eh. Anyway, Mary Ann, continue. Yung unang employer mo, anong nangyari?
Yung unang employer ko po, na-terminate naman ako doon kasi yung amo kong lalaki is laging wala sa bahay, laging pupunta ng China, tapos yung babae po stay in. Demanding po kasi yung amo kong babae. Tapos, pero hindi po ako nagreklamo doon kasi yung problema ko naman doon noon is kapag nagta-travel sila, ang gusto nila, ilabas ko yung days na wala sila, tapos pagbalik nila, magtatrabaho ako. So, hindi po ako pumapayag kasi, syempre po, ang lungkot-lungkot po kaya na yung hindi ka nakakalabas kapag weekend, yun na lang po kasi yung time na makakalabas ka. Tapos kung lalabas ka naman po ng weekdays, wala ka namang kakilala or kasamang friends. So, hindi po ako pumapayag. Hanggang sa, ayun nga po, nag-reason out ako sa amo ko na, ayun nga po, na it's not my fault if you're going to travel out of the country. And it's my right na wag pumayag po na sa gusto nila. So hanggang sa, ayun na nga po, after nung klase, yung bakasyon po ng alaga ko noon, terminate na lang po ako nila.
Okay. Paano ka naman nakalipat sa panibagong mong employer?
Sa same agency po. Nakahanap ako ng amo doon po. Tapos okay naman po itong pangalawa, kaya naman po umabot ako ng matagal. Kaso nga lang, nung nag-pandemic lang po talaga, parang nagbago.
Oo nga, hindi. Sa totoo lang, maraming pagbabago during pandemic eh. Oo. Peter, are you with us now for good?
Yes,
Because
I came back because
there is this question that I would like to read to you. Actually, it is addressed to you. The first question is, assuming for the sake of argument that there are still welfare cases or problems of our domestic workers in Hong Kong, has there been no significant improvement since 40 years ago? Can you answer that question?
in my opinion, there's no significant improvement.
Would you like to expound on that? No.
Yes,
Because there are three questions actually. There are two questions.
Okay, the first question, I don't think there's significant improvement along the lines that I feel of what should be done to protect OFWs. There are many, many issues that could easily be resolved, but it needs action from the Philippine side as well to push for improvement and change. I mean,
When you say the Philippine side, are you referring to whom?
I'm referring to the pre-training before coming to Hong Kong.
Ah, okay.
So in the pre-training, there is insufficient training to make helpers aware of their legal rights when they come to Hong Kong and how to deal with various issues when they arise. And it wouldn't be difficult to come up with a list of possible potential scenarios and how you deal with those issues. So perhaps, if the department was interested, you and I could also talk to the department on what could be done to come up with a list of compulsory training, a short manual, a booklet, so that all OFWs coming to Hong Kong would be armed with that and would know what their rights are and how to deal with various scenarios in Hong Kong. That is my.
But the training you are referring to, if you don't mind me saying, Peter, is more of empowerment rather than training them for the job. Am I correct?
Well, they're trained for the job. In the training for the job that's done in the Philippines, where they learn how to use a washing machine or whatever.
Yes.
The point is they should.
But the training you are referring to earlier, as you answered the question number one, is more on empowerment of telling them their rights as they work in Hong Kong. Am I correct?
Yes, and it should be part of the training, in my opinion.
Okay.
Now, the other issue, what I have recommended for several decades, I've mentioned this before to various people in the Philippine consulate in Hong Kong, I feel that all potential employers should have to undergo a compulsory culture shock seminar to be conducted by someone like myself. They would need to pay a fee for that before they can process a contract. Because simply put, you get people who have studied at Harvard University. They're going to employ somebody from the province, from a farming area in the Philippines, for peanuts, honestly, for peanuts. Because these poor ladies are working like for 10 or 11 Hong Kong dollars per hour, like 16 hours per day. Whereas the minimum salary for Hong Kong people is $38.50, and nobody is willing to even work for that. They will demand $50, $60 at least. So they should take into consideration, when you employ somebody new, the employer needs to have some training and understanding that when you give an instruction to a new helper who's coming, she's very scared, and she will, whatever you say, she will say yes sir, no sir, whatever. Just say yes sir to every question. The problem is, what we need to do is the employer needs to understand. In the first month and the first 2 months, when we have so many terminations in Hong Kong, all because of miscommunication, and primarily it's the fault of the employer, not the helper. I don't blame the helper. I blame the employer, because what the employer should do is to ask the helper, after you've given the instruction, now, Josie, explain to me, what have I just told you to do? And when you can see, this is what I would say to the employer, when she can't answer you, it's your job to make now a gentle, more effort to explain to her what you want her to do. Some employers are quite abusive and aggressive, and they just expect to bark a command, and the helper's not a dog, sorry. So they should make an effort to communicate nicely with the helper. This is what happens with many cases, and then they get terminated because the helper didn't understand. For example, also another issue would be Philippine culture, from the province especially. So you say, Josie, or you say, good morning, and Josie doesn't reply, but she flicks her eyebrows up and down like this, which means good morning. And the employer thinks that she's being rude, and she's not. But the employer needs to have some compassion, some understanding. And another example, Josie, where's the tomato ketchup? So Josie will go and point with her mouth. And again,
I see.
The employer needs to adapt to the culture, as I said. You are coming from Harvard University, you're a professor, whatever, and you're going to employ a farmer's daughter who's only been to secondary school and doesn't have the same level of education. This is very unfair. So I
True,
think
true.
that,
I
that,
agree.
that this pretty much sums up. And this could be done very economically because employers don't understand how to deal with their helper. Why do we blame the helper? We should blame the employer because the employer is not making the effort.
Okay. So let's go to the next question, if you don't mind.
Yes,
What is the percentage of welfare cases or problems in relation to the total deployment of domestic workers? I don't think you have this figure, do you?
I don't
You
have the
cannot.
figure, but
You
but
cannot. You cannot. You cannot answer
it's
this.
I can't answer that directly because I don't know. And the problem there is many cases are never reported, so there's no accurate figure available because people become intimidated, they get terminated, and there are many cases where the employer will buy a ticket and bring them to the airport the next day to evict them from Hong Kong and back to the Philippines. So they have no chance to come to someone like the group that my wife and I run, HKOFW, and get advice and might potentially file a case against their employer. Actually, I know that many employers are afraid of what we will do because we will teach them what their rights are under the labor
I see.
ordinance and the immigration ordinance.
Okay. And then the last question being, according to some reports, we have lost a huge chunk of Hong Kong domestic worker market to Indonesia. If this is true, could the reasons what could be the reasons? Are our
Well,
domestic workers no longer in demand or preferred as before? Is there any not clear or present danger of future losing additional chunks of the Hong Kong market for labor market to Indonesia? That was the question.
generally, the preference will be to employ Filipino domestic helper rather than Indonesians. But however, Indonesians very often are more subservient to bend to all the whims of the demands of the employer. And then
Ah.
again, another reason would be language because they speak Chinese. Most of them can speak Chinese, which is very convenient. But as I said, they are willing victims of abuse. So many Indonesians are abused, but they don't do anything about it. They don't do enough about the abuse. We have actually
Aha.
helped we've helped some Indonesian OFWs. My wife also helped one in Saudi Arabia where we helped her to get rescued, and that's another story we can deal with on another segment in the future. But so much
I
can be
see.
done to improve the training. Another issue is I feel that all domestic helpers should have some basic knowledge of the wonderful country that they're coming from, the Philippines, so that they would know something about their history. It's amazing. So many Filipinos I talk to, they know nothing, absolutely nothing about the history of their own country. Can you imagine? Just imagine that if Filipinos compulsory had to have a basic knowledge of some history about the Philippines and Rizal, the Philippine national hero, it would promote the country tremendously because all those OFWs you have deployed all around the world would then be able to they would be able to talk about their country, and it might attract more people to come to the Philippines for vacation in the future.
I agree. I agree. I agree. It's just that, well, yeah. Actually, we are in Taiwan. We have started losing to Indonesians because, as you've said, they've been subservient very much to the whims and caprices of the employers, uh, mostly abusive ones, and uh, and then actually they pay their way in uh, to 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 be employed in Taiwan. But in Hong Kong, so you are not convinced that we are the Filipinos. are losing its preference among the employers in Hong Kong?
No, the Philippines is losing some market share, but I
Uh-huh.
think an improvement could be made to prevent losing further share of the market by improving the training before coming to Hong Kong.
Okay. Okay.
But it doesn't mean
That's
it would take longer for people to qualify to come to Hong Kong. So if they all know, if you ever want to come to Hong Kong, that you have to have a good knowledge of your country, you have to have a knowledge of the history of your country, then you should be able to process in a shorter time. At the moment, the time for processing in the Philippines takes too long.
yes. I was told yes. Uh, some are complaining 2 weeks. Some are complaining 2 months. I do not know which is which.
There are cases of many months.
Really, huh? That long,
Yes,
huh?
yes.
Oof. And how? And I actually in Taiwan there were two cases that when the caregiver arrived in Taiwan, their the wards or the people that they are supposed to be taking care of died already, so they had to go home the next day. That's pitiful. They were not
That that
able to
that
serve.
that that that, that is shocking, and in such a case, a consideration should be given of at least 2 months to allow her to stay, and if she can manage financially, to find a new employer.
No, they were not allowed to. They were, as per law of Taiwan, when your ward dies, you go home. Or you are allowed to find a new employer within 40 days or something. Something like that. When
Again, we
you
have
were
this.
able to serve. But this one, they were not able to serve. So they have
Yes,
no choice but to go home. I mean,
yeah. Sad
that's the
case.
law. Sad, very sad, but very sad, very sad. Okay. Is there anybody that we have left out so far? MM was telling me earlier that he has been working for many years since 2002 as a driver in Hong Kong. A
Yes,
woman driver. You are driving for your employers. You're not doing any
Yes,
cleaning,
not
just driving, huh?
actually. I have so many works inside the house. We are supposed
Ah,
to have only driving here, sir, because we are in addendum. But then, because I have a human heart, I also help my colleague inside the house, like looking after kids, feeding them, cooking, cleaning the house, cleaning the swimming pool, cleaning the grounds, you know.
mm,
Uh, so, hindi naman sabi sir na kung hindi patapos yung kasama ko, titingnan ko lang. So,
mm.
tinutulungan ko rin po siya, mamalansa, maglaba, lahat po sir. Yun
Saan
ang
ba
ano
probinsya
ko.
mo rito sa atin, MM?
Iloilo sir, Iloilo,
Ah,
Iloilo.
Ilong ka pala gani? Okay, okay. Sige, Apaulinte, ha? Sige. So, okay. Well, Ilongas are very, they say very
Malambing.
soft spoken, malambing. I do not know what's that in English. Very caressing people, or I do not know. Very malambing. But your province, Negros is very dangerous right now. Huh? People are politicians are dying like chickens. Anyway, that being said, out of this since 2002, you only had one employer or several? MM. MM. Isa lang ang employer mo o marami? out of this since 2002. Oy, nakamute ka. Nakamute ka. Yan, salita ka. MM. Hindi mo ako madinig, MM? M. Anyway, I don't think MM can hear us. Anyway, do you know Peter, how long has MM been has she transferred from one employer to another, or did she only
She
work
had,
for only one?
no, she's transferred, and the current employer is less than 2 years.
Okay.
But she's on
Okay.
sick leave. She's on sick leave now, and the doctor has already told her. When she got her sick leave last year, she didn't take it. She was afraid of losing her job because her mother was seriously ill. But unfortunately, her mother has now passed away. But she was worried about not having income to support her brother to look after her bedridden mother. So that is what happened in her case. So she was working when she shouldn't be working. When the case came to my attention, that was in January, because she was already on sick leave in October. So when the case came to my attention, the doctor had already told her the surgeon
Hello,
to
sir.
file for injury in the workplace.
Yeah.
So I told her. I
Hello,
told
sir.
her to go to.
Sorry.
I told her.
Stand by. Yeah. Go ahead, Peter. You have the floor.
I told her to go to A&E because that's the only way to get a fast appointment and see the doctor immediately to get a new sick leave certificate, which she did. She got a 2-month sick leave certificate, and I told her, you move out of the house, you stay out of the house, you don't need to go to work because you got a sick leave, and we'll file it to the relevant department, and you file a case for injury in the workplace, because her employer, when she was throwing the rubbish outside the house, it's still injury in the workplace. He drove his electric scooter.
Yeah, they will still force you to work. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he drove his electric scooter unlicensed on the road and crashed his scooter into her and broke her arm. She now has a massive metal plate and screws in her arm, and she's suffering from pain in the arm. She's not recovered, and the surgeon said now, because he was very happy that she's filed injury in the workplace. So because she's filed that, the surgeon said he will continue to renew her sick leave certificates, and she can get 80% of her salary for up to 1 year. After that, if the employer disputes it and the case is still going for civil litigation, then she will be able to, if she gets a court order, she will be able to remain on sick pay.
I see.
Because you can't terminate somebody who is suffering from an injury in the workplace and has got a sick leave certificate. But in the case of someone who has, for example, worked 1 year, they have an accumulated 24 days entitled sick leave after 1 year. Get 2 days for every month worked. So if, for example, you work for 1 year, then you go sick for 30 days sick leave, you can only use legally 24 that the employer has to pay for. Once those 24 days are up, technically, unfortunately, the employer can then terminate them. And there is nothing you can do about it. And we have this case also now with several cases. In fact, today we are dealing the last few days again with one relapse of stage 4 cancer. The lady is in hospital. I can talk about that in more detail on another time. And another lady who's also just had major surgery, and fortunately, the employer hasn't terminated her contract. But unbeknown to me, she's been not working with agreement.
Is the cancer patient can still talk? No.
She can, and I will bring her
Okay.
on the show in another segment. But now
Yes,
the
please.
employer technically can already cancel the contract. Unfortunately, in her case, she's having having treatment, and her last treatment will be in early July. But now the employer wants to release her at the end of June. The problem in her case now is the employer wants her to work. So she has, unbeknown to me, been working, and then she started bleeding from the operation. So she's been admitted for a few days to hospital, and she came out today. So today I pleaded with the doctor to give her a longer sick leave, but I only managed to change it from 3 days to 6 days. This at least gives me slight breathing space. I got documents from the immigration today for early release. But early release would not be a termination and would still allow her maybe to find a new employer. The problem with the early release, it cannot be more than 1 month before the expiration of your contract date. So since the contract date is the 11th of July, the earliest termination could be that we could file would be the 11th of June. But what I would like to do is to talk to the employer tonight to request the 30th of June as the early release, because then I could talk to the doctor to try to fast track her treatment earlier before, because once she is released from the contract, she is not entitled to any form of medical treatment in Hong Kong whatsoever. If she goes into hospital, she has to pay $5,388 per day. This does not include
per day?
per day. This is in a common ward. This does not include any medical treatment, any tests, and doctor's fees are excluded from that fee. This is shocking. So
That's only hospital. No, okay. Wow.
So if you're finished contract as well and you have 14 days to look for a new employer, that's another case, you still have the same problem. You're not entitled to any medical care in Hong Kong. The fees are shocking. And I would really, as I've discussed with you privately previously, we need to discuss the issue of insurance cover and what could be done to make some way of having more protection for OFWs. Because this is really
Peter, if I may ask, how long has this been cancer patient been working in Hong Kong?
many years.
Okay. Okay. So
But
the
so
cancer developed in Hong Kong.
in Hong Kong, but I have the other case where the lady I helped a few years ago, and I gave her friends brought her to me and wanted me to give her advice. So she had breast cancer. So what I said is, you really want me to give you advice? Okay, I will give you advice. But be ready, it may be shocking to you. So are you ready? She said, yes. I said, okay. Are you married? She said, yes. You love your husband? Yes. You got children? Yes. You're planning more children? Right. Have you heard of Angelina Jolie? She had an issue, so she
had breast cancer, yes.
So she locked
removed
both susus off. Both boobs gone. And she had a hysterectomy
Yes.
as well, removed the whole system because there is a connection between the two. So fortunately, the lady, I shan't mention her name now, she's in hospital, very sad. She called me the other day, I haven't heard from her for a while. She now has stage 4 brain cancer, but at the time...
Stage 4 brain cancer. Oh my gosh.
Yes. So what she had at the time that I met her, she had breast cancer, and she also had 2 other small tumors, one in the armpit on the left side. Left side breast was removed, and on the right side there was a small tumor on the breast which was easy to remove. When I went with her to see the oncologist and to talk to the oncologist, I had already psychologically prepared her that she was willing to have them both removed. I mean, let's face it, you want life, or do you want to not have an opportunity to live longer? So
I
she's
see.
very
Yes,
fortunate.
yes,
She took my advice, and I persuaded the employer not to terminate her contract. So we kept the employer agreed to keep the contract open. We made a deal, and she didn't work, but she got her long service in advance, so she had money to live on, and she was able to complete her chemo treatment at that time for about 6 months. She then luckily found a new employer, and then the new contract is finishing, I think, it should have been around July. And she called me about a week ago and reached out, and she said, I will be going home next month, that's May, I think 10 or 11, because I have stage 4 brain cancer. The cancer has gone to the brain. I don't know the extent. And then after that, I was unable to reach her. She's in hospital. But my wife is now contacting and talking to her sister who's in Poland. And my wife is trying to help to put her in touch with and all the details to the Philippine consulate, OWA department. And that's being followed up with OWA to assist her to plan for going back to the Philippines, and hopefully OWA will be able to help her to refer her case to the OWA hospital or whatever hospital which is accredited for domestic helpers.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
very sad case, but
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I said very sad case, but
It is.
I would just like to say something.
Actually, my heart is being, squeezed right now because of the sad story that you're telling us.
But what she did, she took on board everything I said, and then she counseled 3 other victims of breast cancer, also Filipina. 2 of them took the advice and removed the breast. One of them, who was a resident, they were domestic. The one who was resident didn't want to remove it, and so she just wanted the tumor taken out. She had and you know what happened? The 2 recovered. The one who wanted to keep her breast, she had to go back because they were unable. They didn't cut everything out. Something was left behind. To put it in simplistic terms, let's imagine you have a tumor, something like a calamansi, a small calamansi inside your breast. So if you don't remove the whole thing, what happens when you slice through a calamansi? You may infect the surrounding area. So
eventually, yes.
I myself have had 6 operations for tumors, by the way. So I've undergone 14 operations so far, and I had one on my chest last year. And they really had to although it was small, they had to dig in quite deep to make sure they remove it. So when you need to go all the way, whatever they need to do. So, but the other thing that came up, I met with the nurse in charge, the community nurse dealing with these issues of breast cancer at Queen Mary Hospital, and she was very interested in HKOFW group, what we do helping people. And she said, we can't understand why the incidence of breast cancer amongst Filipino women is 4 times higher than for Chinese women. And
really?
What I said, yes, but my answer to that, what I suspect, and I have some members who may be willing to talk on your show in the future. And the problem, I believe, is due to the following.
Nawala uli si Peter. Kanina, habang nawala ka, inexplain ni Sir Peter mo kung ano nangyari sa'yo. Nadisgrasya ka pala. Binundol ka ng motorsiklo. Oh, no, Peter is back. Yeah. I was telling that while she was away, you explained what happened to her.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will come
please continue.
back to that. Let me just finish on the cancer issue. So
yes,
I explained the problem is stress, lack of sleep, and exceedingly poor diet. Some employers only buy the cheapest instant noodles for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, just a few dollars. They're very, some employers are exceedingly kuripot, as you would say.
Yes.
Noodles are coated with cancergen. So
carcinogenic, yes.
Unhealthy.
Naglolo ko na talaga yung signal ni Sir Peter mo. Anyway, yun nga, na-disgrasya ka pala ng motorsiklo. At
electric scooter. Electric scooter.
Okay, you're back again. Okay, please. Oh, no, you're okay. Are you okay now, Peter? Peter?
Yes,
are you
we're
okay?
cutting in, so please mute M. Yeah, I'm okay. Please mute M so that I can talk.
Okay.
Okay, can I go ahead now?
Already.
So the other issue is regarding a lot of Filipinos want to have food from back home because they get depressed, but they're eating processed food. So they're eating too much processed food, canned food from the Philippines. Any processed food is bad anyway, and then they're eating snacks, crisps, very unhealthy again. And the worst thing sometimes is the preserved smoked fish. Sometimes the fish may be going off, but what some unscrupulous fishermen may do, they may treat the fish with spray with formalin, which is for preserving the dead. And then when they smoke it, when the fish have been smoked, you wouldn't be aware that the fish has been treated with formalin. And
They use formaldehyde or something. Yes.
Yes. So this is also another issue. But then let's come back
embalming liquid.
Yes, they embalm the fish. So my recommend you need to eat healthy food. They need to eat healthy food. But the problem is the food allowance in Hong Kong is too low, and many employers don't give proper food to their helpers. I mean, it's really shocking how mean some employers can be. But I have another one that we will deal with on another time, and you will be shocked at what happened in her case. But we'll discuss that on another time. So, but basically, I explained my points, and others can also talk about this issue about diet. But the food allowance of $1,170 something is totally insufficient for a domestic helper. But some employers won't give the food allowance, but they don't give proper food as well at the same time. There are so many issues here that need to be addressed.
Peter, if you don't mind, we are nearing towards the. No. Before we go back to M, we're nearing towards the end, and so far we have not allowed Clarence to speak. Where is Clarence, by the way? She was here earlier.
She's not responding. She has disappeared. She said her battery was low. This happened the other day. I don't know why she's done this. And I've got the same problem with Anime, the one who was burned. They're both not online because. So we'll have to bring them into a future segment. But Clarence, I got her a visa extension today until the 12th of May.
Congratulations! Yes, that's good to hear. Okay.
Because she has a criminal case against her employer.
Okay, can we go back to the case of MM?
Ems, yes. Ems,
Ems, he or she, I do not know what to call her. Anyway, she was hit by an electric motorbike, right?
Electric scooter driven by her
electric scooter, sorry. Okay.
The husband of her expatriate female employer.
It was an accident, of course.
Well, I will not comment.
No.
All I know is that the police are investigating. A criminal case was filed by EMS, and there is actually a European who witnessed the accident who will testify in court on behalf of EMS. That much I can say. But as the case is still under investigation,
can we allow M to?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we allow M to say something? What happened, M? Ano nangyari ba, Day?
So, una, sir, okay ang relationship namin. Kasi bago ko lang siyang amo, mga nangyari ang insidente is 1 year na ako sa kanila. Tapos,
pila kabulan na mo nag-serbisyo sa ila?
1 year. 1 year na, sir, nung nangyari ang insidente ng October last year.
Okay.
Oo. Pero okay ang samahan namin for first 10 months. Pero nung nagbakasyon sila sa England nung Mayo, meron na pala na may ticket sila na natanggap na ticket ng illegal parking na natanggap, tapos nawala nila ang ticket, nagbakasyon sila sa England, tapos pagbalik nila ng Agosto, pinadalhan na sila ng korte ng sulat na ibabayaran nila ang ticket na illegal parking. So ang pinagbuntungan nila ako, sir, ako. So sinabi ko, hindi ako ang gumawa ng illegal parking dahil kung akong nag-illegal parking sa sasakyan mo, natural, makikita ko, sir, sa windshield na iniipit ng pulis ang illegal parking ticket. So wala. So sabi ko sa amo ko, kung pinagbibintangan mo ako niyan, sabi ko, mag-request ako sana ng CCTV footage sa harap ng Fusion doon sa Clearwater Bay. Balit tumalikod na lang sila, sir, at saka sabi niya, paano to? Paano to? Sabi niya, ako magbabayad nito. Sabi niya, anong gagawin ko nito? Sabi ko, it's all up to you. Sabi ko, kung anong gagawin mo. Sabi ko, kung ako doon ang gumawa, sabi ko, sa CCTV footage na makita, ikaw nang bala sa akin kung i-terminate mo ako or i-keep mo ako. Tapos, sir, ang ginawa niya pa sa akin, binawasan niya ang sahod ko ng $1,008. Dahil ako ang pinabayad niya. Oo, binawasan niya, sir. Hindi niya muna ibinigay sa akin ang sahod ko, sir. Automatic binawas niya kaagad sa bangko ang pera na sahod ko, sir, 1,000. Maintindihan mo, sir, Tagalog, kung medyo baloktot kung Tagalog.
Wala pa. Kahit mag-ilonggo ka pa, kabalo ko mag-ilonggo. Sige. Anyway.
Tapos, sir,
so, ano nangyari?
Una namin yun na dispute. Pangalawang dispute, yung 2 araw ang holiday namin. That is October 1st, it is a national day, and the second one is holiday namin naman, linggo. So gusto niya, sir, papaholiday ako ng Saturday at saka Sunday, babalik ako na magtrabaho sa kanya. So sabi ko, hindi pwede dahil hindi mo ako pinagsabihan ahead of time dahil may mga personal appointment ako sa mga kamag-anak ko, magkikita-kita kami. Tapos, pinag-duty na ako to avoid, sir, ng maraming gulo. Nag-duty ako, sir, kaya dahil natatakot ako, baka i-terminate niya ako dahil breadwinner ako sa family, may pinapadalhan pa ako ng pera dahil sinanay ko at that time is bedridden. So, nag-duty ako, sir, sa madaling salita, nag-duty ako. Noong October 2, ng kinagabihan dahil may party sila nung lunchtime, tinaandahan ko, sir, ang basura. Nung binaba ko ng basura sa bahay namin kasi may stairs, habang naglalakad ako doon sa main road, nag-exhibition ito ang amo ko na alcoholic kasi ang lalaki kong amo is alcoholic, sir. Nag-exhibition siya doon ng electric scooter niya at slope kasi, sir, slope ang bahay namin pababa. So, doon siya at hinarutkot niya yung electric scooter niya at binanggaan ako. At saka, nung natumba ako, sir, so nung natumba ako, sumigaw ako ng help. Kaya ang neighbor namin na British na malapit sa aksidentihan ko, sir, yun ang tumulong sa akin. Si Ian King. Tumulong sa akin. Tapos, kasi dahil parang mahimatay na ako nung time na yon, hindi ako nag-isip na tumawag ng police or whatsoever. Ang ambulance ang una kong pinatawag sa kanila kaya hindi ko na mahalagilak yung telepono ko.
So, pero in short, lasing yung amo mo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Lasing siya. Sobrang lasing siya, sir. Sobrang lasing.
British then.
British, British. Pero anyway, araw-araw yan, sir, ang iniinom. So araw-araw yan, sir, ang iniinom niya nga, sir, tubig niya is whiskey. Whiskey. Well,
Okay.
hindi yan siya umiinom, sir, whiskey yan araw-araw. So, sa madaling salita, sir, na hospital ako nung gin-pick up ako ng ambulance. Nung time na pipick upin ako ng ambulance, na parating na yung ambulance ko, sinabihan niya pa ako na, your ambulance is coming and you're dying. Sabi niya ganon. So, ginbuli niya pa ako, sir. Tapos, nung time na yon, dinala ako sa madaling salita, dinala ako sa hospital sa Chong Kwan O, na-admit ako ng October 2, na-operahan ako ng October 6, na-discharge ako October 7. Hindi niya binayaran, sir, ang sir, ang hospital bills ko. Ako pa nagbayad, hindi rin nila ako binisitahan. So, yun. Hanggang na binigyan ako ng doktor ng sick leave from 7 up to 16. Tapos yung amo ko, sabi niya mag-report ka na lang dito sa 22. Habang namamaga pa to, sir, ang kamay ko, sir, na hindi ko ma-lift ang shoulder ko, nagtrabaho ako sa kanya, sir. Nagtrabaho ako sa kanya. Tapos, nung the following month, November 7 ata, sir, pero may mga record ako doon. Lahat ng mga papers ko nandoon sa bag ko. November 7, may another follow-up check-up ako. So, gin-extend na naman ng doktor ang sick leave ko from November 7 up to January 25. Ay, 25 ata yun or 26, sir. So,
parang 2 months yun.
Oo. So, hindi ko yun, sir, nung time na yun, ayaw kong nag-aaliwasan na ako. Sabi ko, ano ba itong gagawin ko? Kaya dahil gusto ko na sanang umalis doon, sir. Pero kaya lang, sabi ko, paano naman ako kung aalis ako? Wala akong sana singilin ko sila sa ginawa nila sa akin. Sa ginawa nila.
Oo naman.
So, paano to?
Naman. Ikaw nagbayad ng hospital mo. Dapat sila.
Oo. Tapos, sir, including mga follow-up check-up ko, sir, ako na nagbabayad. Noong time na yun, inisip ko, yung isa kong kaibigan, may tumulong sa kanya. Yan si Sir Peter, ang tumulong sa kanya. Pero hindi ko pa kilala ko si Sir Peter sa pero hindi ko siya na-met. Nung sa Hong Kong, OFW lang na niya, na sa Facebook. Ngayon, tinawagan ko si Buds, pero taga rin yun, sir, taga Iloilo, taga Tigbawan. Tinulungan ni sir sa kaso niya, nanalo ang case niya.
Mababait ang mga taga Tigbawan. Okay. Anyway, go ahead.
Tapos, sir, until nga, sabi niya, okay, puntahan natin si Sir Peter. Sabi ko, oo. Until nga, gingather ko, sir, ang mga advices sa akin ng mga neighbor namin na international lawyer, plus ng isa namin paging labor na police, na second highest to the rank dito sa Hong Kong, na general siya. Nagpunta ako doon at saka maghingi ng legal advice. So, sabi nila, i-labor. Hospital ko, nagsabi, i-labor. Including si Sir Peter, labor. So, ayun. Nung na-timingan, sir, na-timingan na nagbakasyon sila nung January ng Chinese New Year sa Japan. Doon na ako nakatsansa na pumunta sa Labor Department at nag-file ng injury at work dahil sa advice ni Sir Peter.
Okay.
Yun ang ginawa ko. Pero, and then, sir, until now, hindi pa rin ako terminated kaya dahil naka-extend ang sick leave ko until June 15 this year. So, yung kamay ko, sir, naka-therapy pa ako.
Nakita ko nga, naka-ano pa eh. Oo nga.
Tapos, hindi ko pa, sir, maganito, sir. Hindi ko pa ganon. May ano pa siya, may distansya pa sa, sir. Hindi ka pa
Hindi mo pa mo kinamutang ko na ang dapat kamutin ha. Kamuton ha.
Oo,
Wala pa.
hindi pa sir. Kaya
Wala pa.
dahil ang rotation ng kamay ko hindi pa totally healed.
Hindi
Tapos
pa.
ang opera. Tapos serious fractured ito sir. At saka nilagyan
Oo
ng
nga.
plate at saka dalawang screw sa kamay ko. May plate at saka screw.
Okay.
So,
Well,
ayun.
anyway.
Ang
Anyway, thank you, Emma. Peter, I hope you don't mind if
you're
I will
welcome,
ask. Yeah. Thank you very much, Emma. Peter, I hope you don't mind if you
Okay,
can
sir.
take over from here. What is the status of her case now, Peter? Peter, you have to unmute. You're on mute. Peter, you're muted. Yeah, we cannot hear you, Peter. You're muted. Hello? 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 Yeah, Peter, can you speak now? Can you speak now, Peter? We cannot hear you. Peter, can you hear us, Peter? We you're not muted, but we cannot hear you. Hello? Peter? Peter? Yo, Peter? What happened to you, Peter? Can you hear us, Peter? Why don't you get off and on, come back? Get out and come back. Hello? Medyo, kawawa naman yung nangyari kay Emma, no? Diyos ko. May mga, kahit pala lahat ng nasyonalidad, talaga namang meron din talagang, sa bagay, sa bawat, alam mo yung kasabihan sa salita natin, sa bawat gubat may ahas, no? Yung nangyari kay grabe. Grabe yung nangyari sa iyo, Day. Sus, mamatay ako sa lungkot sa nangyari sa iyo.
At saka sir, ang pinakamasakit pa sir, na ang sinanay namatay ng March 17, hindi ako nakauwi. It's because sa case ko.
Oo nga. Nako, condolences ha.
Painful.
Condolences.
Thank you, sir.
Mahirap mawalan ng nanay. Ako, nawalan din ako ng nanay pero mabigat.
Pasalamat lang ako, sir. Pasalamat ako, sir,
My heart goes with
sa
you.
mga taong
My heart goes with you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Napakabigat na nangyari sa iyo, Day. Grabe.
Oo. Grabe, sir. I've been a hardworking OFW here. Well determined.
Can you imagine? Since 2002 ka pa dyan? Okay. 2022. Now, Peter, I think is back. Wala. Peter. Okay. Peter, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Now, we can hear you now. Yes, we can hear you now. And you disappeared again. We can hear you and you disappeared again. Let's go. Anyway, so ano na status ng kaso mo so far?
So far, sir, lahat na ng naghihintay na lang kami naghihintay na lang ako, sir, ng letter from the tribunal ng schedule ng pagkikita namin ng amo ko. Kasi ang last niya na communication sa
Okay.
akin is
Okay. Imimute kita
uh,
lang kita para
okay.
matanong ko si Peter ha. Peter, would you mind updating us what has now transpired in the case of M?
Can you repeat the question?
Can you update us what has transpired so far, or what is the update on the case of M
The update
with
now.
her employer?
The update on M's case is the case is now moving forward, applying for legal aid from the Hong Kong government to proceed with civil claim.
But there is no criminal case against what the employer did to her.
The issues are as follows. She has a case filed with the injury in the workplace, number one. She has a police
Uh-huh.
case, number two, still under process. And three,
Uh-huh.
she is filing civil damages, which will go through the courts. And the civil damages is separate from the injury in the workplace. Because the problem with
Correct,
injury
correct.
in the workplace is on the amount of insurance cover the employer has. And in most cases, the insurance is inadequate. So she is filing for to file the case in the civil court and applying for legal aid so the government will provide her with a solicitor and a barrister to handle the case on her behalf. So that she
Okay.
doesn't pay. And it's a case of if she wins the case, and which is extremely likely, the money that she gets, of course, the lawyer will be claiming against the defendant costs, and in all probability, the court will award costs for legal costs for the lawyers
Uh-huh.
of representing M's. And so,
Okay.
in that case, it would not affect the award of her claim against the employer. The employer did reach out that he wanted to settle at one stage, and she responded with a message which was without prejudice. This is very important that all helpers use this term, because when you make an offer without prejudice, whatever you say may not be taken down and used in a court of law, because it's without prejudice. So
Mm-hmm.
she did that and made an offer, and it was by the employer who wanted her to make a settlement, and then said he would rather go through the courts.
Who said that?
So
M.
the case is proceeding to court.
Okay. Okay. So the employer offered an out of court settlement, but of course M would rather go to court. Am I correct?
No, there was no financial comeback offer because M's indicated
Ah.
an amount that the employer was not interested in settling.
Okay. Understandable. I mean, she was asked to pay for her hospital bills and her medical
But
bills. I mean, that's very unsettling.
problem is she has a metal plate in her arm for life. She is applying now for also assessment for disability, for some degree of disability, which still needs to be done by the doctor. We're waiting for the disability assessment. But obviously, this kind of accident will affect her for the rest of her life, and she will have like
Mhm.
rheumatism, pain in her arm probably for the rest of her life.
Yes. Eventually.
And
Yeah.
obviously, she
It's a
can't do anything.
long-term impact of the accident. Yes, correct.
So she should have a reasonable compensation for her suffering. I'm just amazed that the employer never even apologized to her. I'm just shocked. Absolutely.
Yes. Okay. May we ask now our ladies to we are now in our extra part, meaning at the end part of our program. So can we start with Mary Ann? If you could give your final words mamaalam ka na sa ating mga nanonood at nakikinig sa programa bago tayo mag-extra.
Like what I've said po sa statement ko during my tribunal hearing, ini-encourage ko po yung mga kapwa ko OFW na ranas ng abuse from their employers to speak up and stand for their rights, know their rights, and yun lang po, maging strong po sila.
I see. Okay. Thank you very much, Mary Ann. Maria, your final words, Maria? Nawala si Maria. Kasasabi ko lang Maria, nawala naman kagad. Maria. Ikaw na lang MM. Final words, M? Naka-mute ka, M.
Sa lahat ng tagapakinig ng radio station na DWRB, maraming salamat po. Especially kay
BAHAY
Sir
OFW.
OFW. BAHAY OFW. Especially kay Sir June De Vera at mostly kay Sir Pieter Nootenboom na siya ang tumutulong sa amin dito without paying any single cents for him. Tumulong siya ng buong puso para sa amin dito sa Hong Kong. At hindi niya kami pinapabayaan kahit masakit na yan ang paa niya sa kakalakad. Malayo ang bahay niya sa kalsada pero siya pa rin naglalakad, mag-a-attend lang ng hearing namin at tumulong kung ano ang gagawin namin na sunod na mga legal na mga pamaraan. So sa lahat ng mga OFW na may mga problema sa amo, tama yan ang sinabi ni Mary Ann na speak out at wag nating pabayaan na ang iabuso tayo ng amo natin. So,
thank you very much.
God bless us all, always, sir, and all praises and thanksgiving to the Lord.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, sa program nyo. At sa kay Sir Peter, especially kay Sir Peter.
Alam mo, ibigay ka pa namin dahil hindi pa tapos yung kaso mo eh. Kinakailangan i-follow up natin yan kung ano nangyari. Ha? Anyway, Peter, I hope you don't mind. Anyway, i-mute kita. Peter, your final words, Peter, before we end our program.
The line is crackling. Can you hear me?
Very, very weak, but yes, we can.
Yeah, the line is very bad. The connection is gone again. So I have to make sure next time I need to use maybe another phone or a computer because I'm calling him, and that's what's causing the problem.
But you're coming very clear. 5 by 5. Go ahead. Your final words, please.
Final words. I look forward to the next episode when we can interview the other applicants that were supposed to be interviewed today.
Well, it's only Clarence, I think, and Anne, or I forgot her name, the one that got boiled. Yeah. Anyway, okay. So
and Clarence too.
Yeah, Clarence and May Ann, yes. May Ann and Clarence, yes. Okay.
We have many more.
Yeah. Okay. Let's not let's invite more. Anyway, like I said, this is our first time, and I think our next month's episode, which will be the last Monday of every month, will be much better. Okay? And sa mga kababayan ko, sana may natutunan, may napulot po kayo sa isinyer ng ating mga dalaga dito, dalaginding, At yung isang nagdadala-dalagahan pero pogi. Anyway, biro lang M ha. But my point is, alam mo, mahirap din talaga magtrabaho sa abroad. At minsan, wala sa layan. Kita mo nga yung KM, puti na, lasenggo pa. Yung iba naman, yun na nga, ang yaman-yaman, laka-laka ng sweldo. Pero dahil lang sa halagang 500 Hong Kong dollars, tinerminate na. Napakababaw eh. Anyway, ganun talaga. May mga employer talaga na, hindi naman lahat ng employer masama. Pero tama yung ginagawa ni Peter na talagang hinahabol niya yung mga gago, yung mga luko-luko. And I'm thankful for Peter for helping our countrymen, for helping our Filipino domestic workers working in Hong Kong. Like I said, this is only our maiden broadcast. Every last Monday of every month will be devoted to all Hong Kong domestic workers, talking about Hong Kong domestic workers. And thank you very much, Peter, for your time. I know how much tired you are already. Sa'yo rin, M. Sa'yo, Mary Ann. At yung kanina, thank you, ha. Maraming salamat. And
Yes, sir.
yeah, may the universe guide us whatever we should be doing. And thank you for someone like Peter who is well guided by the universe as well. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Have a good day. Ha? At mag-extra tayo. Thank you very much.
Thank you po. God bless po. Take care po.
God bless, sir.
Sa DWRB News FM, ang himpilang ikaw ang una.